Chapter 246. Madame Yin thought about it and said to Bai Shi, "Uncle Shi, I will go in person. You stay at the Bai Emperor Mountain and take command." "Okay." Bai Shi nodded. Madame Yin was intelligent and cruel. With her there, anything could be settled. Bai Shi was not worried. Bai Qiushua said, "Andy, I will go with you. Don't worry. I will not do anything." Bai Xiaoshuang hurriedly said, "I want to go as well." "Nonsense." Madame Yin glanced over. Bai Qiushua looked to Bai Shi with a pleading and pitiful look. Bai Shi thought about it and waved his hand. "Take them to see the world. They will be fine as long as they don't leave the Thousand Island Lake. Our family patriarch has finished his cultivation." "Okay." Since Bai Shi had spoken, Madame Yin couldn't say anything else. She turned around and asked someone to send a message to Bai Lung and the others. Whoosh whoosh. Bai Lung flew up with 4 warriors of the Eternal Realm. The mission of the Hall of Combat was to fight. They were ready at any time. The ring on Madame Yan's hand glowed. An iron-armored ship flew up. She flew up with Bai Qiushua and Bai Xiaoshuang. Bai Lung and the others jumped on quickly. The iron-armored ship flew towards the Heaven Prison City. The iron-armored ship was fast, but the Heaven Prison Island was too far away from the Blood Evil Island. They had to go to the Heaven Prison City to take the teleportation formation, which would be faster. "Lu Li, hang in there." Bai Qiushua was in a hurry. Su Chun should be at the Blood Evil Island now. Powerful warriors of the Yu family should be hiding nearby. It was up to Bai Gu and Bai Rui if they could make it. Su Chun had indeed arrived near the Blood Evil Island. Su Chun brought warriors of the God Down Island with him. If Su Gu and Su Tianwen were on fate wheels, they would have killed their way into the Blood Evil Island. Su Chun was cautious this time. After all, Su Sai was killed. The situation was unclear, so he must be careful. He brought all the powerful warriors of the Su family so that he could retreat in advance if something happened. Nearly 100 battleships came. When they arrived at the Blood Evil Island, Su Chun shouted angrily, "Lu Li, get out." The battleships split up and surrounded the Blood Evil Island. Only then did Su Chun amplify his Xian energy and shout, "Lu Li, get your ass out here." Su Chen's furious roar was so loud that it resounded in a radius of more than 10 miles. The Blood Evil Fortress was only a few miles away from the lake. Of course, everyone nearby heard it. Lu Li was sitting in the Blood Evil Fortress. There were many people outside. All the surviving warriors of the Blood Evil Fortress were here. Many injured people were being treated, and the hundreds of thousands of people on the island were also nearby. Hearing Su Chen's roar, many people turned pale. Only a warrior at the Fate Wheel realm could make such a loud roar with the help of Xian energy. This person must have an extraordinary identity to shout so openly and to mention Lu Li's name so fast. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian looked at each other and frowned. Lu Li had planned to bring some of the core members into the small world as soon as something went wrong. He didn't expect Su Chun to come so quickly. He didn't even have time to react. Lu Li was sitting in the castle, waiting for the Burning Blood skill's weakened period to come. Nothing happened. Since the enemy had come, there was no way to continue waiting. This matter could not be avoided. Lu Li looked at Hunchback Tian, stood up, and said, "Hunchback Tian, let's go and meet our island owner Su. If they want to make a move, remember to cooperate. As long as we can kill Su Chun or Su Tianwen, it will be easy." Lu Li walked out with Hunchback Tian. Hunchback Tian's injuries were under control. He only lost an arm, so his combat ability must be compromised. Of course, if he could find some treasure materials, he could regrow his arm. Lu Li found Patriarch 9 and told him some things. At the same time, he left with the other 7 green dwarfs. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian rode on the Fate Wheel while the green dwarfs ran on the ground towards the dock. All the powerful warriors of the Su family are here, right? Lu Li and Hunchback Tian felt the pressure as they looked at the dense number of battleships and the warriors standing on the deck in a cold manner. If so many warriors rushed onto the island regardless of anything, even if Lu Li and Hunchback Tian could kill Su Chun and Su Tianwen, everyone else on the island would be killed as well. While Lu Li was flying towards the dock on the Fate Wheel, he thought quickly. By the time he arrived at the dock, He had a plan. He bowed to Su Chun and said, "Greetings, island owner Su, Lord Heaven's Inquisition, and all the lords. What is island owner Su planning to do by mobilizing so many people?" Su Chun had been looking at Lu Li coldly. At the same time, he was secretly observing the surroundings to see if there were any powerful warriors lying in ambush. So did Su Tianwen. Lu Li just came out with Hunchback Tian and several green dwarfs. Wasn't Lu Li afraid that he would kill them in one move? Su Chun snorted and said, "Su Sai and Su Yaoyong were killed near the Blood Evil Island." "Lu Li, don't you need to give me an explanation?" "What?" A huge commotion broke out. Warriors of the God Down Island finally understood why Su Chun was so furious. Su Yaoyong and Su Sai were dead? Lu Li was shocked. He said at once, "Really? How come I don't know?" "Island owner Su, just now, several groups of bandits attacked the Blood Evil Island. We managed to beat them back, but we suffered heavy casualties. We never saw young Master Su and Lord Sai. Could it be that they were killed by bandits? Also, the leader of the bandits is at the Fate Wheel realm. Only he can kill Lord Sai." Lu Li decided to lie through his teeth. Su Chun didn't attack as soon as he came, which meant that he was not sure that Su Sai and Su Chun were killed by Lu Li. Therefore, Lu Li decided to bluff and see if he could fool Su Chun. If he couldn't, then he would launch a sneak attack. The Su family didn't send any scouts over this time because Su Sai and Su Yaoyong were here to supervise the battle secretly. They couldn't show up in public. Su Chun thought that with Su Sai and Su Yaoyong hiding in secret, what danger could there be? Could it be that Whitebeard really killed them? Su Chun thought about it, but soon denied it. Whitebeard didn't have the guts, nor did he have the motive. Su Chun looked at Lu Li again and asked coldly, "How did you beat Whitebeard back? Where's Whitebeard now?" So it seemed that Su Chun didn't have much information about this place. Lu Li had an idea. Lu Li randomly made up a story. "We were lucky enough to beat Whitebeard back with the help of a mysterious, powerful warrior. Whitebeard has run away. He retreated an hour ago. The Blood Evil Island has suffered too many casualties. All our scouts were killed. We couldn't find out where they went." Mysterious, powerful warrior? Su Chun and Su Tianwen looked at each other in shock. Could it be that the mysterious, powerful warrior that went to the Heaven Martial Kingdom to help Lu Li was not from the Bai family? If there really was a mysterious, powerful warrior helping them, then they would be in trouble when they broke into the Blood Evil Island. Lu Li's words were flawless. Su Chun and Su Tianwen were hesitating. If Lu Li didn't kill them, and they killed Lu Li at the Blood Evil Island, would Madame Yin be furious? Whoosh! Right at that moment, a battleship came from the distance. A scout of the Su family reported from the distance, "Island owner, we found the bodies of young Master and Second Patriarch. Patriarch 8 found out the cause of death. Second Patriarch's fate wheel was broken and he was killed by a halberd. Young Master was also killed by a halberd." Swish, swish, Lu Li and Hunchback Tian's expressions changed. Halberds were rarely used. As far as Lu Li knew, Hunchback Tian was the only one who used one. Whitebeard used a saber. Wouldn't this expose him? Moo! Chapter 247. Whoosh! Hunchback Tian controlled his fate wheel and flew away. Lu Li controlled the green dwarfs to rush towards the battleship like green shadows. At the same time, Lu Li looked at the lake area behind Su Chun and shouted, "Lord, help me kill them." Hunchback Tian and Lu Li were not far away from Su Chun, only hundreds of feet away. Su Chun even used his dragon roar skill, which stirred up a gale and shook the space. Warriors on the battlefield were rolling around and howling in pain. Hunchback Tian was smart. He stood behind Lu Li at once and sealed his eardrums with Xian energy at the same time. This way, he would be less affected. Even so, Hunchback Tian was still in great pain. He screamed in pain. Ah! Su Chun and Su Tianwen's eardrums were ringing. Their minds were filled with shock and confusion, and they were a little dazed for a while. Out of instinct, Su Tianwen looked back to see if there were enemies sneaking up on him. Something is wrong. Su Tianwen glanced behind him and realized that no one was there. He immediately woke up. He looked back, only to see Hunchback Tian and Lu Li had flown down from their fate wheels. One of their fate wheels smashed at Su Chun with the force of wind and thunder. Su Chun didn't fall for it. He was stunned by Lu Li's roar, and he chose to dodge out of instinct. He wanted to figure out the situation first before counterattacking. Therefore, he controlled his fate wheel to dodge to the sides. Courting death, Su Tianwen roared in rage. He controlled his fate wheel to smash at Hunchback Tian and Lu Li in midair. He wanted to smash them to death. Su Tianwen was at the middle stage of the fate wheel realm. Two fate wheels overlapped and formed a two-layered fate wheel. It was fast. In the blink of an eye, it was about to hit Hunchback Tian and Lu Li. Idiot! Lu Li and Hunchback Tian swore at the same time. Inside, they were overjoyed. Someone really fell for it. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian were working together to lure the fate wheel to attack them. Little White. Lu Li waved his sleeve. Little White flew out and landed on Su Tianwen's fate wheel in an instant. Lu Li generated many shadows and rushed down. He wanted to rush into the crowd of God-down island warriors so that Su Chen wouldn't dare to attack at will. As for Su Tianwen, Lu Li had stopped looking at him. When Little White approached the fate wheel, Su Tianwen's fate was sealed. Xiao! Lu Li jumped off the battleship. His halberd appeared in his hand, and he swept at several warriors of the Soul Pond realm of the Su family. 3 heads flew away at once. 3 warriors of the Soul Pond realm were killed. Halberd. Seeing Lu Li's halberd, Su Chen's eyes were burning with anger. There was no doubt now that Su Sai and Su Yaoyang were killed by Lu Li. The interspatial ring on his hand glowed as he took out a blood-red sword. He controlled his fate wheel to fly down, ready to kill Lu Li. Right at this moment, Su Tianwen suddenly let out a blood-curdling scream, and his body crashed down from midair. The golden saber in Hunchback Tian's hand flashed, and a stream of Xian energy flew out. Su Chen turned around and saw that Su Tianwen's head was smashed by Hunchback Tian's Xian energy blade. Tian won. Su Chen's eyes were filled with shock. He was still in a daze when he flew to the side just now. He didn't see Lu Li throw Little White out, so he didn't know how Su Tianwen died. Su Tianwen and Su Chun were not of the same bloodline, but he was still a member of the Su family. He was more than 300 years old. Even though he was only at the middle stage of the Fate Wheel realm, Su Chun could tell that the chief patriarch's fighting capacity was horrifying. How could he be killed in one move? Can it be? Su Chun remembered that Lu Li asked for help. Was there really a powerful warrior hiding here? Was it that powerful warrior that sneaked up on Su Tianwen so that Hunchback Tian could kill Su Tianwen so easily? Su Chun looked around in fear at once. At the same time, he controlled his fate wheel to wander around nearby. He kept probing into the lake, trying to see if there was a mysterious, powerful warrior hiding in the lake. Bang, 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 Lu Li started his killing spree. The warriors of the Su family were stunned by the dragon's roar. Lu Li had the apparition skill. Almost no one could survive one move from him. Lu Li looked over to Su Chun after he killed several warriors. Seeing Su Chun looking around, Lu Li was overjoyed. He looked at Hunchback Tian, and they made eye contact. Hunchback Tian understood at once. Whoosh! Hunchback Tian flew over on his fate wheel, and Lu Li hopped on. The fate wheel made an arc and flew toward Su Tianwen's falling fate wheel. Little White rushed into Lu Li's sleeve in a blur. The fate wheel flew out again and picked up Hunchback Tian. Okay now, Lu Li and Hunchback Tian were relieved. Su Tianwen was killed. Su Chun was the only one left. Everything would be fine as long as they could find a chance to kill Su Chun. What would happen to the Bai family after Su Chun was killed? Would Madame Yin bring warriors of the eternal realm of the Bai family to level the blood-evil island in a fit of rage? Lu Li didn't know. He didn't have time to think. If he couldn't kill Su Chun, he would die. He winked at Hunchback Tian, and the fate will move closer to Su Chun quietly. Lu Li once again shouted to the lake, "Do it now. Su Chun has found you." Lu Li also used his dragon's roar. The warriors down there had just felt better, but now they were hit again. Su Chun looked into the lake as if he was facing a formidable enemy. At the same time, he controlled his fate wheel to step back to keep a distance from Lu Li and Hunchback Tian. Bang! The water in the lake suddenly surged up. Water drops splashed everywhere. Then a warrior covered in a black robe with only a pair of eyes visible rushed out. What is going on? Lu Li and Hunchback Tian were stunned. There really was a powerful warrior hiding in the lake. Judging by his chi and energy, he seemed to be at the Eternal Realm. Su Chun sensed the chi and energy of the mysterious warrior. He was scared out of his wits. The blood-red long sword in his hand cut downward at once. A streak of light spread out and aimed at the head of the mysterious warrior, courting death. Seeing Su Chen's attack, the mysterious warrior shouted angrily and dodged to the side. A fate wolf flew up from his abdomen and smashed at Su Chun like a bolt of lightning. It was a 4-layered fate wheel. He really was a powerful warrior of the Eternal Realm. Boom! The water under Lu Li was stirred up as well. Then, waves rose up as another powerful warrior flew up. At this moment, Lu Li and Hunchback Tian felt like they had fallen into an ice house. They were both targeted by a strong, killing intent. Lu Li looked down and saw a pair of eyes that he was familiar with. Yu Fainong, he is from the Yu family. Lu Li shouted. He recognized the pair of eyes. His soul trembled. The Yu family had sneak attacked him in the chaos. How could he survive 2 warriors of the Eternal Realm? Right at that moment, an old and cold voice came out. The voice seemed to come from above the 9 heavens. It was so faintly discernible that it was impossible to tell where the voice came from. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian trembled. How come there was another mysterious warrior? How many powerful warriors were hiding at the Blood Evil Island? Yu Fainong, who flew up from the lake, felt like he was struck by lightning when he heard the voice. He was so familiar with the voice. Lu Li was in a coma during the fight at the Cliff of Purgatory, so he didn't hear the voice, but he remembered it clearly. The old and cold voice clearly came from the powerful warrior with force, the one who killed Euphrasia at the Noble Lord Realm. Go! With a powerful warrior of the Noble Lord Realm here, Yu Fainong knew he had no chance to kill Lu Li. He released his fate wheel at once and flew away in a blur. He looked at the powerful warrior that was attacking Su Chun and shouted, Brother 8, kabang! The 4-layered fate wheel of Brother 8 of the Yu family smashed against Su Chen's fate wheel. Su Chen's fate wheel was cracked. Su Chen was on his fate wheel. Naturally, he couldn't escape from his fortune. He died at once. Whoosh! Chapter 248. The 8th son of the Yu family helplessly controlled his fate wheel and followed Yu Fainong. Right at this moment, 2 ear-piercing sounds came from the southwest. Then a furious roar was heard. Bastards of the Yu family, you want to leave after killing people? Dream on. Swish! 2 ear-piercing noises were heard. A 4-layered fate wheel and a 5-layered fate wheel flew over. Lu Li glanced over to one of them and realized he knew him. It was Bai Rue, the patriarch of the Bai family. Last time, he stayed with Bai Qiushue and Bai Xiaoshuang at the Blood Evil Island for a few days. The Bai family's imperishable realm experts had also come. The scene was so chaotic that Lu Li was confused. Why were the powerful warriors of the Yu family here? Who was that expert who snorted coldly? Why did the Bai family's experts come so quickly? Hunchback Tian was scared and didn't know what to do. He looked at Lu Li in fear and asked in a low voice, Master, what do we do now? How would Lu Li know what to do? He did not say anything and looked in the direction where Yu Fainong and the others had fled. He saw Bai Rue and another elder of the Bai clan chasing after them. It seemed like a battle was about to break out soon. He lowered his voice and said, Don't move, don't do anything. There were too many experts here. If he were to act recklessly now, he might be killed in an instant. Lu Li thought about it and said in a low voice, Go now. Don't be too high profile. You will be killed. Hunchback Tian hurriedly controlled the fate wheel to descend. The 2 of them stood on the beach and observed the situation. Boom, boom, boom. Soon, a series of explosions came from the northwest. It should be the 2 elders of the Bai clan fighting against Yu Fainong. The identities of the 4 were clear now. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian looked at each other, trying to guess the identity of the powerful warrior that snorted. Master, could it be that mysterious expert who went to the Tianwu kingdom to help us? Hunchback Tian asked in a low voice. Lu Li thought about it and felt it was possible. Just now, when Yu Feinong wanted to kill him, this expert let out a cold snort, and Yu Feinong immediately escaped. This mysterious expert was obviously helping him. Lu Li dared not to make any more guesses since this man did not show up. He was nervously waiting for the result of the fight between Bai Rui and Yu Feinong. As for the warriors of the God-Down Island, they were even more confused than Lu Li. Su Qian was killed by the Yu family, and Su Tianwen was killed by Hunchback Tian. They were like dragons without a leader. The appearance of so many imperishable realm experts just now had scared them silly. They didn't know what to do. Continue fighting? Could they kill Lu Li? Once Lu Li used his dragon roar skill, he could kill them as if they were cattle. Were they going to court death? Run? At this moment, the situation was unclear. The two looked back as if they had seen a ghost. Lu Li was stunned when he saw a figure. Nobody knew when a man had appeared behind them. It was a middle-aged man in a white robe. He carried a huge silver sword on his back. His hair was white as well. His face was cold as if it was carved with knives and axes. Mingyu. Lu Li had a deep impression of this man. Hunchback Tian had never seen Mingyu before. However, when Hunchback Tian sensed Mingyu's qi and energy, he was shocked. He could not tell Mingyu's realm. Lu Li swallowed his saliva and soon came to his senses. He asked, Lord Mingyu, it was you who saved me. Yes. Mingyu's expression didn't change. He coldly said, not only just now, it was me who killed Yu Feijia at the cliff of purgatory. Also, it was me who went to the Heaven Martial Kingdom to clean up your scouts and lure away the Yu family warriors. What? Lu Li and Hunchback Tian were dumbstruck. Their minds went blank at this moment. Many people at the northern desert were guessing who the powerful warrior at the cliff of purgatory that had the force to kill Yu Feijia was. They were all investigating the mysterious powerful warrior that followed Lu Li to the Heaven Martial Kingdom. They didn't expect that it was the same person or a person that nobody could imagine. Mingyu, the leader of the 5 freaks of the Thousand Island Lake. He was the only one who could live well after he rejected the Bai family. He even caused a young lady of the Bai family to die for him. In the end, he was still fine. He was a mysterious man. He once knelt to Lu Li and left in disappointment because Lu Li could not activate Lu Renhuang's token. He never came to the Blood Evil Island again. Nobody knew that he had been secretly protecting Lu Li. Lu Li and Hunchback Tian stared at Mingyu. Their eyes flickered. They could not calm down. Mingyu, on the other hand, was expressionless and said nothing. He was extremely cold. After the time for more than a dozen breaths, Lu Li came back to his senses. He asked, Lord Mingyu, you have reached the Noble Lord realm? Mingyu still didn't smile. He nodded indifferently and said, before I came to the Blood Evil Island to see you, I had prepared all the mystical materials. I reached the Noble Lord realm when I got back. Impressive. Hunchback Tian and Lu Li exclaimed to themselves. Mingyu was a lone ranger. He didn't have the support of a family, but he could gather all the mystical materials by himself. He could reach the Noble Lord realm so easily. He must be a genius. After a moment of silence, Lu Li asked the most important question. Lord Mingyu, last time you were sure that I was not the son of Lu Renhuang. Why did you call me young master? Why have you been protecting me secretly? Also, I cannot activate your master's token. Ha. Mingyu finally smiled, but it was a bit cold. He waved his hand and said, that token is fake. I made it on purpose. As for you being the young master, I was sure at first sight. Buzzing. The ring on Mingyu's hand glowed. He took out a scroll and unfolded it. There was a handsome man on the scroll. Lu Li trembled at the sight of it, because the man in the painting was 80% similar to Lu Li. Clearly, this was a portrait of Lu Renhuang. Mingyu had known his identity all along. Chapter 249. Fake Token. Lu Li frowned. He asked in confusion, Lord Mingyu, why did you use a fake token? Why did you pretend that you didn't recognize me? Because of Bai Yin, Ming Yu explained. Bai Yin was up there looking for you. I think you must have sensed it. Since you didn't want to admit that you're the son of Lu Renhuang, I put on a show to help you hide your identity. Anyway, I can protect you secretly. Madam Yin, Lu Li finally understood. That day, he didn't want to admit that he was the son of Lu Renhuang because there was a powerful warrior hiding nearby. He didn't expect that it was Madam Yin. Lu Li paused for a moment and asked again, Lord Mingyu, my father, really did you a great favor? Of course. Mingyu nodded and said seriously, as a matter of fact, most of the mystical materials I need for cultivation are given by your father. I can understand force because of your father's guidance. The Bai family doesn't dare to touch me because your father met the old man of heaven prison. Your father has given me a new lease of life. I have sworn that I will serve him as my master and follow him for the rest of my life. So that is it. Lu Li finally understood. Many questions in his mind were solved. Mingyu was full of mysteries, but it was all because of his father, Lu Renhuang. But Lu Li was confused again. He asked with a frown, Then why didn't you come to me and my sister before? We have been bullied at the D Long tribe for more than a decade. My sister almost died, and now she's being taken to the Siam Plains. I am sorry, young master, Mingyu said with guilt. I have enemies at the Heaven Cold Kingdom, so I don't dare to leave the Thousand Island Lake. Also, I am a loner, and I don't know what is going on outside the Thousand Island Lake. If it weren't for the fact that Bai Yin sent someone to remind me, I wouldn't even know about you. I thought Master had already gone back to the Lu family at the Central Plains. I wanted to go to the Central Plains to look for him after I reached the Noble Lord realm. Oh, I see. Everything was clear now. As a matter of fact, Lu Li believed Mingyu when he took out the portrait of Lu Renhuang. Lu Li didn't see the portrait of Lu Renhuang, but he could tell at once that this was his father. It was a strange feeling. Also, what Mingyu did at the Cliff of Purgatory and at the Heaven Martial Kingdom, Mingyu was one of his own. Boom, 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 an explosion came from the northwest. Madam Yin and Bai Lung had probably started to surround and kill Yu Fainon. Lu Li, on the other hand, was not worried at all. Standing next to him was a noble Lord Realm warrior who had learned force. After some thoughts, Lu Li asked in a low voice, Lord Mingyu, my father once fought against enemies at the northern desert. Your identity has been exposed, and mine has also been exposed. Will something happen? I'm fine. Mingyu thought for a while and said, There has been no human sovereign realm cultivator in the northern desert for thousands of years. Master must be fighting with enemies outside. Since it's been more than 10 years, and the enemy hasn't come looking for us, it must be fine. Mingyu paused for a moment before continuing. Of course, it's better for young Master to keep a low profile. I will try my best to protect you in secret in the future. After all, Master's identity is special. His enemy is definitely not a small force. All right, young Master, do you know where Master is? I don't know. It was better to be safe than sorry. Lu Li didn't reveal Lu Renhuang's whereabouts. He said, When I was born, my parents went missing. I haven't heard from them for so many years. Nobody from the Lu family has ever looked for me. Lord Mingyu. Lu Li looked at Mingyu seriously and said, Can you take me to the Central Plains? I want to go to the Lu family to get some information about my parents. Young Master, just call me Mingyu. You are flattering me by calling me Lord. Mingyu said seriously as well. I can go to the Central Plains, but I need to wait for 3 months. I have something else to deal with. Okay. Lu Li was excited. With Mingyu's protection, he could return to the Lu family easily. Everything would be fine as long as he could get back to the Lu family. Boom, boom, boom. The noise of explosions in the northwest was getting louder. Lu Li looked to that direction and asked, Madam Yin will come looking for me later. Mingyu, can you deal with her? Not a problem. Mingyu said casually, The old man of heaven prison and your father have a deal that he cannot fight against me. I am not afraid of Bai Shi, so nobody of the Thousand Island Lake can hurt you. If Bai Yin dares to do anything, I will take her down for you. You can do whatever you want to her. Okay. Lu Li walked into the forest with Mingyu and Hunchback Tian. He asked Little White to scout ahead. He planned to go back to the Blood Evil Fortress and wait for Madame Yin to find him so he could talk to her. With a warrior of the noble Lord realm who had learned force, Lu Li's confidence was boosted. There were no more noises coming from the northwest. The fight must have ended. If Bai Lung, with several warriors of the Eternal Realm, could not take down Yu Nong and Hunchback Tian, then Bai Lung, the third most powerful warrior of the Thousand Island Lake, would be useless. Hunchback Tian followed Lu Li and Mingyu. He was tense and didn't dare to breathe. He had learned a lot from the conversation between Lu Li and Mingyu. He was more respectful to Lu Li now. In the past, he was not convinced, but this time he was convinced. Young master, this little beast of yours is very powerful. It should be an ancient species. Mingyu looked at Little White that was running happily in front of him. His eyes glowed. Lu Li, of course, knew how powerful Little White was. He nodded without saying anything. When the three of them walked out of the forest, Lu Li suddenly took out the ghost mask, handed it to Mingyu, and said, "You wear the mask. Don't expose yourself if you can. Don't call me young master when there are outsiders." Okay. Mingyu put on the ghost mask. Soon, the powerful qi and energy disappeared. The ghost mask was a heaven-grade Xian artifact. Nobody below the noble Lord realm could see his real face. This mask was a good treasure, and it was suitable for Mingyu. Whoosh! As soon as the three of them arrived at the Blood Evil Fortress, a huge iron-armored ship flew over from the northwest. Lu Li waved his hand to let the warriors on the open ground of the Blood Evil Fortress disperse. He looked up to the sky. On the iron-armored ship, Bai Lung stood with pride, holding two bloody heads in his hands. Madame Yin, Bai Qiuxue, and Bai Xiaoshuang were standing on the deck with several patriarchs of the Bai family. Madame Yin looked down and said to Bai Lung after some thoughts, "Brother Lung, you go back and report what happened here to Uncle Shi. Let the family patriarch make a decision. I will go down now." Bai Lung knew that the Blood Evil Island was a mess, and it was caused by Madame Yin. She must deal with the aftermath. Bai Lung nodded indifferently. "We will go as well." Bai Qiuxue said nervously. She was afraid that Madame Yin would slap Lu Li to death in a fit of rage. This time, Madame Yin wanted to teach Lu Li a lesson. She didn't expect that Lu Li would start a killing spree. Not only did Madame Yin lose face, but a patriarch of the eternal realm of the Bai family died as a result. Even though Bai Rui was killed by Yu Nong, it had something to do with Lu Li. Bai Ge, take the two girls back and put them in confinement for half a year. Madame Yin shouted angrily. Even Lu Li and the others on the ground could hear it. Madame Yin had a high status in the Bai family. Bai Ge had to grab Bai Qiuxue and Bai Xiaoshuang. Whoosh! Madame Yin flew down with a patriarch of the eternal realm and landed on the open ground in front of the Blood Evil Fortress. The iron-armored ship whizzed away. Bai Qiuxue looked at the blurry figures on the ground and shouted, "Auntie, if you kill Lu Li, I will hate you for the rest of my life." Lu Li's heart trembled. He looked at the iron-armored ship in the distance, touched. When the iron-armored ship disappeared, Lu Li looked away, bowed to Madame Yin, and said, "Greetings, Madam. Greetings, Lord. Please come in." Madame Yin and the patriarch of the Bai family stared at Mingyu, who was wearing the ghost mask. They walked towards the Might Hall with cold faces. Lu Li, Mingyu, and Hunchback Tian followed them in. Madame Yin directly sat on the host's seat. She glanced at Mingyu again and coldly said to Lu Li, "Lu Li, you are good. You colluded with the Yu family to kill Su Chun and the others. You even killed a patriarch of the Bai family. Are you going to destroy the Bai family in a couple of days? Do you want to be the overlord of the Thousand Island Lake?" Lu Li and Hunchback Tian rolled their eyes. Madame Yin was crazy to accuse Lu Li. Was she going to convict him by force and force him to give in? Lu Li was still ignorant. Madame Yin was going to do something cruel. P.S. Monthly votes, monthly votes, monthly votes. Chapter 250. Lu Li was fearless with a noble Lord Realm warrior standing next to him. Mingyu said that the old man of Heaven Prison had an agreement with his father that he could not attack Mingyu. Mingyu was not afraid of Bai Shi, so nobody at the Thousand Island Lake could hurt Lu Li. Therefore, After a moment of silence, Lu Li put on a smile and said, Madam, can we not do that? You know the truth better than I do. Why don't you just tell me directly that I either bow down to you or die? It's easier this way. Oomph. Madam Yin snorted and said, Do you want to lower your head or die? Lu Li shrugged his shoulders, waved his hand to Hunchback Tian, and said, Hunchback Tian, go out. Don't let anyone get close. Hunchback Tian accepted the order and left. Lu Li looked at the patriarch of the eternal realm behind Madam Yin and said, You go as well. Madam Yin and patriarch of the Bai family were stunned. Lu Li was giving orders to patriarch of the Bai family? Has he lost his mind? Who does he think he is? Mingyu suddenly said, Bai Yin, send your men out. Madam Yin and the patriarch of the Bai family glanced at Mingyu. Coldness flickered in their eyes, and there was a hint of murderous intent. Few people at the Thousand Island Lake dared to call Madam Yin by her real name. This man was so mysterious. Who was he? Madam Yin's eyes flickered. She stared at Mingyu for a while, and suddenly put on a smile. She waved her hand and said, Bai Ling, you can leave now. Madam, the Bai clan elder was a little worried. Mingyu was wearing the ghost fiend mask, so he could not detect his cultivation level. However, there was a special aura about him that made people not dare to underestimate him. One look was enough to tell that he was not an ordinary person. So how could the Bai family elder be at ease? Go out, it's fine. Madam Yin waved her hand again. The patriarch of the Bai family had no choice but to leave. Madam Yin was the fourth most important person in the Bai family. They were all under her control. After the patriarch of the Bai family left, Lu Li walked to the seat next to Madam Yin and sat down leisurely. He said, Madam, it is not that I don't want to bow to you, but I cannot join any family. With Madam's intelligence, she should be able to understand. Madam Yin looked at Mingyu and said, Can you take off your mask now? Mingyu grabbed the mask and revealed his cold face. Then he put the mask back on. Madam Yin had guessed Mingyu's identity, but she couldn't help but smile bitterly after confirming it. She shook her head for a moment before she looked up at Lu Li and said, Okay, you two are working together to trick me. Lu Li, young Master Lu, is it fun to play tricks on people? Then Madam Yin looked at Mingyu and said, Mingyu, it was you who killed Yu Feijia at the Cliff of Purgatory, right? It was you who went to the Heaven Martial Kingdom to protect Lu Li, right? The Mingyu who appeared at the Heaven Punishment Auction House was someone you hired to impersonate, right? The two of you, master and servant, are very powerful. You played the entire Bai family in circles. Is it fun? Mingyu didn't say anything, which meant that he agreed. He stood behind Lu Li, clearly indicating that he was a servant. How could a servant have the right to speak when a master was here? Not fun. Lu Li waved his hand and said, But madam, you have to understand one thing. It has been you playing with me, not the other way around. This time, 80% of the warriors of the Blood Evil Island were killed. I should be the one to settle the score with you, right? Young Master Lu. Madam Yan's pretty face was as cold as frost. She said seriously, This is the northern desert, the Thousand Island Lake, not the Central Plains. Young Master Lu, if you want to show off, go back to the Lu family. If you had told me who you were earlier, I wouldn't have bothered you for no reason. Do you think Mingyu, who has just reached the noble lord realm, can suppress the Bai family? Of course I am not enough. Mingyu suddenly said coldly, But I have sent a message back to the Lu family through special means. I think it won't be long before the powerful warriors of the Lu family come to pick you up. My master might even come in person. 20 years ago, my master could already defeat warriors of the human sovereign realm. Do you think the Bai family can stand the anger of my master? Madam Yin flew into a rage. She glared at Mingyu and said, Are you threatening me? Mingyu looked at Madam Yin coldly and said, If you think I am threatening you, then so be it. Bai Yin, swallow your pride. You are a smart person. You should know what to do. Bai Yin said nothing. That conversation was a game. Clearly, she had lost. Of course, the moment Lu Li revealed his identity, Madam Yin had already lost. She fought back with words just to save some face. This was just a negotiation tactic. Lu Li was the son of Lu Renhuang, a disciple of the immediate Lu family of the Central Plains. Based on this, the Bai family could not afford to offend Lu Li. If what Mingyu said was true, and the Lu family really sent powerful warriors to pick up Lu Li, then one word from Lu Li could turn the Bai family into ashes. All right. Madame Yin looked at Lu Li, forced a smile, and said, "Young Master Lu, I am in the wrong this time. State your terms. Let's put this behind us, and we can still be friends. As long as it is not too much, I can promise you anything on behalf of the Bai family." Madame Yin had raised a white flag, surrendering unconditionally. The two sides in this negotiation were not on equal footing. The Lu family was the most powerful bloodline family of the Central Plains, a giant standing at the Central Plains, while the Bai family was only a fifth-rank family. Any patriarch of the Lu family could wipe out the entire northern desert. How could Madame Yin have the confidence to negotiate with Lu Li? Lu Li said nothing. This whole thing was planned by Madame Yin. The death of so many people at the Blood Evil Island must have something to do with Madame Yin. That being said, he didn't know how to state his terms. Before Mingyu showed up, he was afraid that Madame Yin would seek revenge on the Blood Evil Island. This situation was beyond his expectation. For a moment, he didn't know what to do. The dead were already dead. Was he supposed to kill Madame Yin? But Madame Yin was Bai Qiushua's aunt. What Bai Qiushua said was still echoing in Lu Li's ears. Bai Qiushua really saw him as a friend. Lu Li didn't like Madame Yin. She was a real Black Widow. She only cared about interests. 1 second, she could talk and laugh with you. The next second, she could turn hostile and kill you. After a moment of silence, Lu Li waved his hand and said, "Madam, you can go back now. I will state my terms later. Also, I want the Goddown Island. Give it to the Lu family. I will not stay at the Thousand Island Lake for long. I will go to the Central Plains later. I don't like your shabby place." "No problem." Madame Yin nodded and agreed readily. Su Chun, Su Tianwen, and Su Sai were all dead. The Su family no longer had the ability to occupy the Goddown Island. If Lu Li wanted something, it meant that the matter was over. The Lu family had been following Lu Li. Lu Li thought that Yi Cha and the others would come out in 3 months. Mingyu would bring him to the Central Plains as well. Therefore, he decided to help the Lu family. Once the Goddown Island was taken over, the Lu family could soar. With the support of the Bai family, nobody dared to touch the Bai family at the Thousand Island Lake. Lu Li had returned the favor to the Lu family. Madame Yin stood up and walked out. Lu Li didn't see her off. Madame Yin left with the patriarch of the Bai family and flew away on the ancient chariot without saying anything. Outside of the Blood Evil Island, Madame Yin stopped. She looked at the warriors of the Su family gathered outside the dock and said, "Listen up. From now on, the Goddown Island belongs to Lu Li. If you want to stay, listen to Lu Li. If you don't, you can leave. You can go to the Blacktooth Island. I will ask the Ding family to arrange a third-rank island for you." Whoosh. With that said, Madame Yin flew away directly without any explanation. Many patriarchs of the Su family felt aggrieved and cursed secretly. The Black Widow was indeed the Black Widow. She turned her back on them. The Su family had risked their lives for her this time, but they ended up like this. Chapter 251. The winner is the king. The loser is the bandit. The weak are prey to the strong. The strong are respected. That was the law of survival in the northern desert or even the entire world. There was no use complaining or blaming others. It was better to face reality. The Su family immediately retreated and returned to the Goddown Island to discuss and settle the funeral arrangements. The Su family's army had yet to return, but the city was already in chaos. The scout had already sent the battle report back. Su Fangfei was stunned on the spot and fell to the ground, unable to react for a long time. The disciples of the Su family were frightened, and Su Chen's concubines were in a state of panic. The entire Goddown city was in an uproar. Not only the Goddown city, the entire Thousand Island Lake was boiling. It was not because of the Su family, but because Yu Fainong had killed Bai Rui. The Thousand Island Lake had an agreement with the three forces that there would be no more disputes and no powerful warriors of the three forces could enter the Thousand Island Lake. Now, not only did the Yu family send people in, but they also killed an elder of the Bai family. How could this be? When the old man of Heaven Prison was enraged, not to mention the Yu family, the whole Tianwu kingdom would bleed. As expected, in just 2 hours, the old man of Heaven Prison gave an order in person to the entire northern desert. The Yu family had broken off the agreement, and the Thousand Island Lake would march to the Yu Emperor's city and kill everyone in the Yu family. Anyone who dared to stop them would be the enemy of the Thousand Island Lake. The old man of Heaven Prison declared war. The entire Thousand Island Lake was boiling again. All the family heads of the fourth-rank families were teleported to the Heaven Prison city and asked to go with them. It was an honor to go to war with the old man of Heaven Prison. As a member of the Thousand Island Lake, how could he miss such a big fight? What was more, there was no danger in this battle. They were just going to rob the wealth that the Yu family had accumulated over the years. The Thousand Island Lake had a good reason to fight. How would the 3 royal families dare to show up? The old man of Heaven Prison was ranked top 3 on the Northern Desert Warlord list. He once defeated the 3 royal family patriarchs by himself and shocked the entire Northern Desert. The 3 royal families had been beaten into submission. This time, the old man of Heaven Prison led the army in a rage. Who dared to court death? The entire Northern Desert was in an uproar. As expected, the 3 royal families didn't say anything. They acquiesced to the Thousand Island Lakes expedition. The fate of the Yu family had been decided. Bai Shi and the rest got busy, preparing for the battle. A large number of scouts were dispatched. Such a large-scale battle was not something that could be started casually. A comprehensive plan was required. The old man of Heaven Prison said that he wanted to exterminate the entire Yu family, so no one could escape. Therefore, Bai Shi first sent a large number of scouts to the Tianwu kingdom to closely monitor every move of the Yu family. At the same time, he also had to monitor the movements of the 3 royal families. It was better to be safe than sorry. The candidates for the expedition this time had to be discussed and arranged. It was impossible for all the experts to go. What if some armies attacked the Thousand Island Lake and breached the Bai Emperor Mountain? There were also all kinds of materials that needed to be prepared. With so many experts on the expedition, they couldn't possibly let them sleep in the open, right? They needed a complete and proper arrangement. After a few meetings, Bai Shi quickly made up his mind. 1 month later, they would set off and raze Yu Emperor's city to the ground. The keynote was set. Everyone of the Thousand Island Lake was excited. After all, this was an honor for the Thousand Island Lake. Everyone felt they had gained face and they could make a name for themselves at the Northern Desert. After this, which family of the 3 kingdoms would dare to act presumptuously at the Thousand Island Lake? Most of the warriors that could enter the Thousand Island Lake were driven into a dead end by the big families outside. Therefore, they didn't have any good feelings towards the 3 kingdoms. Instead, they had a sense of belonging and honor to the Thousand Island Lake. Naturally, many warriors were gearing up for a fight to fight back against the families of the 3 kingdoms. Warriors of the Blood Evil Island were excited as well. The disciples of the Lu family were so excited that they cried tears of joy. The Yu family was the sworn enemy of the Lu family. They were about to be exterminated. How could they not be happy? More importantly, the Lu family was about to go to the God Down Island with Lu Li. It was a 4th-rank island. The Lu family was weak, not yet a 4th-rank family. But as long as they could control the God Down Island, the Lu family could rise up in no time. 4th-rank family. The most powerful time in the history of the Lu family was when Lu Rufeng was a 3rd-rank family. Now, the Lu family could become a 4th-rank family. This was enough to make many disciples of the Lu family crazy with excitement. Lu Li didn't bring the warriors of the Blood Evil Island to the God Down Island right away. Instead, he buried the warriors that died in the battle one by one on the Dragon Elephant Mountain. Lu Li felt he was responsible for the deaths of these people. It was too late for him to wake up. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have to die. He asked Lu Yi to provide a large amount of Xian crystals as compensation for the families of the deceased. Many Xian crystals were given to the wounded as well. It was late at night, but Lu Li didn't feel tired or sleepy. He He was surprised that the period of weakness for his burning blood skill hadn't come yet. It seemed that after he reached the soul pond realm, his burning blood skill could last longer. He might be able to last for more than one day. He didn't go to the Earth Dragon Island. He planned to spend the night on the Dragon Elephant Mountain. Hunchback Tion was healing his wounds. He had lost an arm. It would take him at least 10 days or half a month to recover completely. Mingyu was cultivating in the pavilion with his legs crossed. Luli was standing there in a daze. He was digesting what had happened in the past few days and thinking about the changes that happened when he reached the Soul Pond realm. The animal tooth pendant was missing, and there was a mysterious dragon-shaped mark in his soul pond. Was this a good thing or a bad thing? Currently, there was nothing wrong with his body. He was doing very well. The Xian energy in his spirit sea was becoming more condensed, and his soul pond was stable. Everything was fine. Mingyu's appearance had guaranteed Lu Li's safety. Nothing was a problem. 3 months later, when Mingyu was done with his business, Lu Li could go back to the Lu family at the Central Plains and go to the Cyan Plains to find Lu Ling. Lu Li didn't care about the old man of Heaven Prison going to the Yu Emperor City. Lu Li's hatred faded on the thought that the Yu family was going to be destroyed. He stood on a mountain peak for an hour and thought things through. He didn't want to worry about the Yu family or the Thousand Island Lake anymore. He wanted to help the Lu family take over the God Down Island and stabilize it. In 3 months, he would leave the Thousand Island Lake and go to the Central Plains to find the Lu family. Lu Li still didn't feel sleepy after standing there for a while. He went back to the castle to cultivate. He didn't fall asleep until it was almost dawn. The next day, Lu Li took Mingyu, Lu Yi, Patriarch 9, and more than a dozen warriors of the Spirit Sea realm to the God Down Island on a chariot. Lu Li asked Hunchback Tion to assume command at the Blood Evil Island. He was ready to take over the God Down Island. 1 day had passed. The ones of the Su family who should leave must have left. The ones who stayed either wanted to live or perish with the God Down City or surrender. As soon as Lu Li set foot on the Blood Evil Island, the God Down City received the news. The more than a dozen families in the city became nervous. Many family patriarchs came to the city gate with their patriarchs, waiting for Lu Li's arrival. By the time Lu Li and the others got out of the city, there were already hundreds of people gathered at the city gate. They were all members of the families in the city. "Welcome, Island Owner Lu." As soon as Lu Li arrived, the hundreds of people in front of him all got down on one knee and saluted with respect. Lu Li nodded. It seemed that these families were ready to surrender. They were sensible. "Let's go to the city." Lu Li waved his hand and walked into the city first. The people behind him stood up and followed him. They walked towards the plaza in a formidable array. The plaza was already crowded with people, waiting for Lu Li's arrival nervously. Even though there were tens of thousands of people on the plaza, and many of them were warriors and armors of the Su family, it was so quiet that even a pin drop could be heard. The gate of the Su family compound was closed. White silk and black cloth were hung outside the gate. Last night, many people of the Su family came in and out. Nobody knew how many were still inside. Lu Li walked into the plaza with the others. Many people knelt down. Lu Li looked to the Su family compound. The gate was slowly opened at this moment. Su Fangfei walked out with a group of people with a black cloth wrapped around her arm and a white mourning dress. Chapter 252. Men should be pretty and women should be filial. Su Fangfei was good-looking, even better than Lu Yi. She was wearing a mourning robe with a tight black belt around her waist. Her pretty face was like frost, giving her an air of coldness. It was within Lu Li's expectation that the Su family would leave the God Down City unwillingly. What surprised him was that it was Su Fangfei who stood up for him. Lu Li didn't have a good impression of Su Fangfei before. At this moment, he admired her courage. She was ready to die with Su Chun and Su Yaoyong since she dared to stand out with the Su family. Tens of thousands of people stared at Lu Li. He was only 16 years old, but he was about to become the overlord of the northwest of the Thousand Island Lake. He would become a master of the God Down Island and dictate the life and death of everyone in the city. Lu Li didn't say anything. Nobody dared to make any noise. Many people held their breaths. After the time for half an incense stick to burn, Lu Li finally said, Su Fangfei, whether you live or die, I will be the master of the God-down city. Winner takes all. You don't have to be so pretentious. If you want to follow your father, you can go to the city gate with these people and kill yourselves. I don't want to kill anymore. You can go now. What? Soon, the plaza became noisy. Lu Li didn't get angry. He didn't kill anyone. Lu Li was a murderer in the eyes of everyone in the God-down city. As soon as he arrived at the Thousand Island Lake, Lu Li had massacred the Blood Evil Island and killed all the warriors of the Shui family. He wiped out the Dark Demon Army a few days ago. How many did he kill yesterday? The birth of a new overlord would usually be accompanied by many people's heads. Now, that Lu Li was going to be the master of the God-down city, he had to kill people to establish his dominance. Su Fangfei was at the cutting edge, and he didn't kill her. Su Fangfei was stunned as well. The dozens of Su family disciples behind her all looked at Lu Li in astonishment. Most of the disciples of the Su family had been sent away last night. The ones that stayed were prepared to live and die with the God-down city. How come Lu Li didn't kill them? By now, nobody doubted Lu Li's abilities and means. Su Tianwan died in front of so many people. Lu Li killed warriors of the Soul Pond realm of the Su family, as if he was slaughtering cattle and sheep. Lu Li was not a soft-hearted man. Could it be he liked Su Fangfei? Su Fangfei was in a dilemma. She had the courage to talk back to Lu Li and stand here, but she didn't have the courage to commit suicide. Go to the Ding clan's territory and drag out an ignoble existence? In the past, they were on equal footing with the Ding clan. Yet now, they had to act according to the Ding clan's wishes. The young masters of the Ding clan might even forcefully take her as a concubine. How could the proud and arrogant Su Fangfei endure this? Not leaving. What was the point of staying in the God-down city? If Lu Li didn't kill them, she wouldn't commit suicide. Would she become a slave for the enemy who killed her father? No. Su Fangfei made up her mind. She suddenly jumped up and a dagger appeared in her hand. She stabbed at Lu Li's face. Lu Yi, the ninth elder, and the others were enraged. They took out their weapons and prepared to attack. With the ghost mask on, Mingyu showed no expression or movement. Lu Li waved his hand to stop Patriarch 9 and the others. His body flashed and transformed into more than 10 ghostly shadows, causing Su Fangfei to be dumbfounded. Lu Li approached Su Fangfei easily and took her dagger with one hand. Then he grabbed Su Fangfei's neck with one hand and lifted her up. Looking down at Lu Li, Su Fangfei said with a cold smile, Lu Li, kill me if you dare. Okay, I will grant you your wish. Lu Li smiled gently. Then he grabbed Su Fangfei and walked towards the Su family compound in strides. Mingyu, Patriarch 9, and the others followed him. Lady Qi, the dozens of people in front of the Su family compound were filled with anger. Lu Li shouted coldly, move or die. Killing intent spread out from Mingyu, making the Su family people feel like they had encountered the god of death. Many people stepped to the sides out of instinct. Now that someone had stepped back, the others followed. Young as Lu Li was, his qi and energy were strong. People felt like they were facing Su Chun. Lu Li strode into the Su family compound, walked to the gate, and said, tell the Su family to surrender or get lost. If they don't surrender or get lost, kill them directly. Yes. Mingyu, Patriarch 9, and the others nodded and shouted. Lu Li carried Su Fangfei and walked toward the castle. Many Su family people were filled with grief and anger. Clearly, Lu Li was going to rape Su Fangfei. Bastard, I will kill you. A patriarch at the peak of the Soul Pond realm took out a short sword hidden in his sleeve and dashed towards Lu Li. As soon as he moved, 7 or 8 warriors of the Soul Pond realm moved as well. They rushed towards Lu Li with strong, killing intent. Swish! Mingyu moved. He didn't move his body. He just drew out his long sword from his back and shot out several streaks of swordlight. Bang, 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 bang. One head after another flew away. The 8 of them were still in a running position. After the heads flew up, the bodies moved forward for a few steps. In the end, All of them fell to the ground, spitting out blood for more than 3 feet. Some of them wanted to rush out, but they were too scared to move. Many people looked at Mingyu, who was wearing the ghost mask, as if they were looking at a ghost. Eternal Realm. Some families guessed that Mingyu could kill 8 warriors of the Soul Pond realm so easily. A warrior of the Fate Wheel realm could not do that. It was highly possible that he was a warrior of the Eternal Realm. Can he be a warrior of the Eternal Realm of the Bai family? Otherwise, why would he wear a mask? Someone guessed that Mingyu was sent by the Bai family to Lu Li. It was understandable that Madame Yin and Lu Li had reached some kind of agreement to send a warrior of the Eternal Realm to protect Lu Li. Nobody dared to move anymore. Mingyu glanced over and said in a hoarse voice, "Get out or die." It was so easy for warriors to disguise their voices when they reached a certain level. Lu Li told Mingyu not to reveal his identity so naturally. Mingyu had to disguise himself. "Let's go." An old man of the Su family shouted in grief and indignation. Where there is life, there is hope. They had used up all their courage when they stood out for death for the first time. Now, they didn't want to die again. All the disciples of the Su family had been sent away last night. Only these few were left. Under the threat of death, the dozens of people soon ran out of the goddamn city and rushed out of the island. Bang! Lu Li walked into a random castle, went into a room, and threw Su Fangfei onto the bed. He looked at Su Fangfei, who was in grief and indignation with a cold smile, and said, "You want to die, right? How about I rape you and then kill you? You bastard." Su Fangfei was filled with grief and indignation. She jumped up from the bed and smashed at Lu Li's head again with Xian energy in her hand. Whoosh! Lu Li moved and restrained Su Fangfei again. Lu Li used his other hand to tear the mourning dress on the back of Su Fangfei's dress. Su Fangfei's smooth and white back was immediately exposed to the air. Lu Li's hand pulled down again, and her entire back was bare. "Lu Li, I will kill you. I will kill you." Su Fangfei made threatening gestures and scratched at Lu Li's neck and chest, leaving some blood marks. Lu Li was enraged. He threw her onto the bed. He got on top of her and pinned her hands and feet down. He tore off Su Fangfei's robe in a flash, almost exposing her curvy body. Su Fangfei could not move. She felt like she was being exposed. Finally, she was scared. Tears fell from her eyes, and she was trembling. Chapter 253. Lu Li suddenly stopped. He looked at Su Fangfei's beautiful face for a while and stood up quickly. Su Fangfei waited for a moment. She didn't expect to be violated. She opened her eyes in surprise and saw that Lu Li was already standing by the bed, tidying up his clothes. "Did you really think that I would rape you?" Lu Li looked at Su Fangfei mockingly and said, "I don't like people like you. Although I'm not a good person, I wouldn't do something so immoral. Your Su family wanted to kill me, so I killed a member of your Su family. This is very fair. If I didn't have the strength and luck, I would have been killed by your Su clan long ago. So don't blame the heavens and blame others. In the future, when you have the ability, you are welcome to seek revenge on me at any time. Do you understand now? There were many things that were more terrifying than death. Therefore, you should obediently scram out of Goddown City and find your Su family. I don't like to kill women, but if you piss me off, I'll strip you naked and hang you on the city gate so that everyone in the city can admire your beautiful body. Bastard, Lu Li, you will die a horrible death." With that said, Lu Li strode out. Su Fangfei cursed and hugged herself in the corner of the bed. She was scared and angry at the same time. She recalled what Lu Li had said, and for a moment, all sorts of feelings welled up in her heart. When Lu Li walked out, he saw many people standing outside. Mingyu was waiting with the family patriarchs of different families in the city. Many people were surprised to see Lu Li walking out. Did Lu Li not have that Su Fangfei? Or a quick shooter? How did it end so quickly? It takes time to get dressed. Lu Li noticed the strange looks on many people's faces. He glared at them and said, "What are you looking at? Do I look like someone who would do such a despicable thing? What are you thinking about?" Lu Yi, Patriarch 9, and the others found it funny. Luli walked towards the main hall of the Sioux family with a cold face, and the others quickly followed him. Sitting on the main seat, Luli looked to a white-bearded old man at the peak of the Soul Pond realm at the front and asked, "What is your name? Do you have any information on the big and small families in the city? Also, do you have any information about the other islands and forces affiliated to the God-Down Island?" "Island Lord, I am Payan, the clan leader of the third-rank Pei clan." The old man bowed and said, "This old man has lived in the God-Down City for more than 100 years. I know all the big and small things in the city, as well as the situation of the nearby islands and forces. If Island Lord needs it, I will immediately have someone organize it." "All right, go and make one." Luli nodded. Payan winked at one of his patriarchs, and that patriarch left quickly. Luli looked around and asked, "Do you really want to pledge allegiance to me? If you're not satisfied, you can leave. I won't force you to stay." The people below hurriedly bowed and said in a deep voice, "We are all sincere in submitting to you. From now on, we will follow Island Master Lu's lead." Luli nodded. He was not surprised. These families had been living in the God-Down City and controlled many properties in the city. Generations had been living in the city. It didn't matter to them who the Island Master was. It was just a change of master. Patriarchs of the Pei family soon came back with documents. Luli started to read them carefully. Before he finished, a warrior of the Spirit Sea realm of the Lu family came in to report. "Island Master, the Black Fox Island, the Devil Island, the Bird Island, the Three Suns Island, all the Island Masters of the second rank and third rank islands are here. They are waiting for you to summon them." Luli nodded, but he didn't summon them right away. He continued to read and found that almost all the families of the God-Down City were here. Only 2 families were too closely related to the Sioux family. They had been connected by marriage for several generations. They had left with the Sioux family last night. The warriors of the Sundown Island must have left as well. "Let them in." Luli looked at Patriarch 9, who walked out with his head held high. Soon, he brought in a group of warriors of the Soul Pond realm. Plop! The dozens of warriors dropped to their knees and saluted in fear. "Greetings, Island Master Lu. The Black Fox Island, the Devil Island, and the Killer's Island once helped Shuecho and almost killed Luli. Now, Luli had become the Island Master of the God-Down Island, their master. Naturally, the Island Masters of the 3 forces were scared. "Rise, all of you." Luli glanced over to the crowd, thought about it, and said, "I need some men. Each of you third-rank families or external clans can send 50 warriors of the Spirit Sea realm, and second-rank families can send 10 to form the Blood Evil Army. Do you have any objections?" If they were chosen from the external clan, then they would not be the core of the families or forces. These warriors would become their own army. As long as they were at the Spirit Sea realm, the families wouldn't feel the pinch. But if they were at the Soul Pond realm, the families would be in a riot. As expected, the family patriarchs and island masters frowned. Payan was the first to state his position. "If Island Master needs it, the Pei family will fully support you." The Pei family is fine with it. The Island Master of the Killer's Island said while clenching his teeth, "The Killer's Island is fine as well. We will support you, Island Master Lu." The Island Masters of the Devil Island and the Black Fox Island didn't hesitate for long either. If they didn't state their positions now, Luli would make a move on them. The other families didn't dare to say no now that several big families and forces had expressed their positions. Luli was probably waiting to make a move on a family to establish his power. Lu and Patriarch 9 were overjoyed. There were more than 30 forces here, and there were at least 700 to 800 warriors of the Spirit Sea realm. There were still warriors of the external clan of the Sioux family who hadn't left yet. It would be easy to gather more than 1,000 warriors of the Spirit Sea realm. When these warriors were loyal to him, he could go back and spend some resources on them. By then, dozens of warriors of the Soul Pond realm could be created. They were all working for Lu Li and also for the Lu family. Luli was the guest warrior of the Lu family. Luli basically did not manage the affairs. In the end, the power would fall into the hands of the Lu family. "Payan." Luli looked at Payan and said, "I now appoint you as the vice island owner of the God-Down Island. You will help my men to manage the affairs in the city. Are you willing?" Payan was startled. Then he bowed in joy and said, "Many thanks for Island Lord's great kindness. This old man will do his utmost until the day I die." "All right." Lu waved his hand and said, "Lu, Patriarch 9, discuss with Payan and hand over all the matters in the city. Lu, you will be in charge of the new Blood Evil army. As for the details, you guys decide. If anyone is dissatisfied, let Hunchback Tian kill him." "Yes." Lu and Patriarch 9 accepted the order. Patriarch 9 was overjoyed. Lu giving the Blood Evil army to Lu meant that the Lu family was the most powerful family after Lu. If Lu didn't manage the affairs, then the master of the Goddown Island would be the Lu family. Lu, on the other hand, was not too happy. Instead, she felt uneasy. Lu's actions seemed to be paving the way for the Lu family. Was he going to leave now? Thinking about the mysterious, powerful warrior that suddenly showed up next to Lu, how easily Lu reached an agreement with Madame Yin, and how easily he got the Goddown Island, Lu's worry grew stronger. Lu waved his hand to let everyone leave. Lu stayed. She looked at Lu with a bit of sadness and asked, "Lu, are you leaving?" Lu looked at Lu. He didn't try to hide anything. He nodded and said, "In 3 months at most, I will leave the Thousand Island Lake." Lu sighed and said with sadness, "You are going to find your sister, right? Will you come back after you leave?" "Maybe." Lu comforted her. "Don't worry, Lu. I will take care of everything. The Lu family can still develop quickly without me." Lu said no more. She was a bit sad. Lu looked to the southeast as well. Lu Ling's beautiful face appeared in his mind. He said to himself, "Sister, how are you doing at the Siam Plains? P.S. The Eternal Dragon Emperor is going to have more than 10,000 subscriptions. There's so many fans. Where are your monthly votes? 1 vote for 1 person means 10,000 votes. How about giving this old monster some excitement?" Chapter 254. With the help of Payan, Mingyu, and Hunchback Tian, the Lu family managed the Goddown Island smoothly. The warriors of the Spirit Sea realm that Lu asked for were all transferred over from the families to form a new Blood Evil army. Lu was the commander-in-chief of this army. Lu was only at the middle stage of the Spirit Sea realm, but she commanded more than 1,000 warriors at the Spirit Sea realm. Among them, there were 500 or 600 warriors at the peak of the Spirit Sea realm. It was ridiculous and uncoordinated. However, no one dared to disobey, because Hunchback Tian was the vice commander. Hunchback Tian had lost an arm, so he was very angry recently. Whoever dared to disobey his orders, Hunchback Tian didn't punish them, but killed them directly. What was more, many believed that Lu was Lu's woman. Gradually, most of the Blood Evil army submitted to Lu. Lu's treatment was good, and many people acknowledged Lu. The Goddown Island was huge, and there were 3 other cities besides the Goddown city. There were dozens of properties on the island that belonged to the Su family, but now they all belonged to the Lu family. The forces and families that used to be affiliated to the Su family were now affiliated to Lu. Every month, there would be Xian crystals as tribute. By calculation, Lu's monthly income could reach 1 million Xian crystals. Actually, the income of the Blood Evil Island used to be this high. Unfortunately, Lu's animal tooth pendant was gone. Naturally, the blood caterpillar grass, netherworld roots, and fire fairy lucid ganoderma could no longer be grown. All the disciples of the Lu family started to move. However, the Blood Evil Island wasn't given to other forces. A small number of people were stationed here. This was Lu's order. There was a teleportation formation connecting the Earth Dragon Island to that small world. As for the Setting Sun Island and the other empty island, the Lu family didn't occupy them. Instead, they gave them to the 2 second-rank families. It wasn't that the Lu family didn't want them. It was just that they didn't have enough manpower. There weren't many people in the first place, and after a few battles, there were even fewer. The 7th Elder's leg was broken, and now he could only help a little behind the scenes. Lu had become more mature. In the past, she could count on the seventh elder, but now she could only count on her. The ninth patriarch could help a little, but he was not as experienced as the seventh patriarch. There were many things that Lu-Yi was worried about. Furthermore, she was well aware that Lu-Li wanted her to be the commander of the Blood Evil Army so that she could have a firm grasp of the army and the military power. After Lu-Li left, Lu-Yi would be a mere figurehead and become a puppet. Lu-Yi was very smart and hardworking. She did everything herself. Lu-Li appointed her as the deputy island owner of the God-Down Island to be in charge of all affairs. She had become Lu-Li's spokesperson. Lu-Yi knew that she didn't have much time. She had to establish her authority before Lu-Li left, so she was working very hard. Lu-Li didn't care about anything. He lived in the backyard of the Su family compound and cultivated by himself. Mingyu lived here as well. Mingyu said that he had something to do in 3 months, but he didn't leave immediately. When Lu-Li asked him, he told him that he only needed to go out for a few days when the 3 months were almost up. Lu-Li left Mingyu alone. He was relieved that Mingyu was here. Su Fangfei left. She was afraid that Lu-Li would really strip her naked and hang her at the city gate. Lu-Li was not in the habit of killing women. What was more, Su Qin was dead. His hatred towards the Su family had faded. There was no need to go to such extremes. As for Su Fangfei's revenge, to Lu-Li, there was no threat. The Su family was still around. So what if there was one more Su Fangfei? The dark force in the deity sea had been completely transformed and became exceptionally condensed. Qian energy had sublimated. It used to be in a gaseous state, but now it was in a liquid state. Its power had been doubled. Lu-Li had been cultivating Qian energy these days. At the same time, he took pellets and herbs to nurture his soul pond and stabilize his realm. For the rest of the time, he was cultivating the apparition skill. This Qian skill was powerful, and Lu-Li must master it. Whoosh whoosh, in the backyard of the Su family, Lu-Li generated many phantoms running around in the yard. The phantoms came into being and disappeared one by one. The yard was filled with phantoms, dazzling people's eyes. After several days of cultivation, Lu-Li could generate 2 more phantoms, making the total number of phantoms now 20. Mingyu walked out from his room and stood on the side, looking at the phantoms in the yard. He didn't say anything. Lu-Li didn't stop either. He continued to cultivate. Swish, Lu-Li stopped and stood in front of Mingyu. Mingyu was wearing a ghostly mask, so no one could see his expression. However, his eyes were flickering as he said, "Young master, this should be an ancient secret technique that was derived from the profound meaning. Try to study it. Maybe you can learn a little bit of the profound meaning." Profound meaning? Lu-Li was intrigued. Whitebeard had only learned a little bit of the profound meaning, but he was so powerful that he could steal the sky and turn the day upside down. Lu-Li asked, "Ancient skill? Is it any different from Qian skill?" "There's a big difference." Mingyu explained, "Ancient secret techniques are derived from ultimacies, and some are derived from the fusion of several ultimacies. Qian skills, on the other hand, are much weaker. They're just some skills. Even holy grade Qian skills are not as good as the profound meaning." Lu-Li was fascinated. He exclaimed, "Profound meaning is that powerful?" "Of course." Mingyu put his hands behind his back, looked to the sky, and said, "Profound meaning is learned from heaven and earth. It is the truth of the world. Once you have learned a profound meaning, you can borrow the power of heaven and earth. It is said that a 9th rank profound meaning can topple mountains and overturn seas, destroy heaven and earth. There is another legend that the northern desert and the central plains were originally connected. A powerful warrior used a 9th rank profound meaning and split them apart in one move." "What?" Lu-Li's soul trembled. He was stunned. He blinked and said, "9th rank profound meaning? He split the northern desert and the central plains in one move? How is that possible? How big was the northern desert?" It would take Lu-Li several months to travel in a straight line at full speed. A powerful warrior had split the northern desert in half with one move. Was this the power of a human being? The northern desert is a small place. Mingyu exclaimed, There is no human sovereign realm warrior here. Mystical materials are scarce, and Xian energy in heaven and earth is scarce. The Central Plains is the center of the world, a paradise for powerful warriors. Oh, Luli paused for a while and asked with curiosity, "Ninth rank, profound meaning? Mingyu, what rank is your force? I think it is powerful as well." "Not at all." Mingyu shook his head and said, "Mine is only of the second rank. The first rank is the weakest, and the ninth rank is the most powerful. Your father is powerful. He has learned a sixth rank, profound meaning, and has the mystic armor skill. He has just reached the human sovereign realm, and he can already defeat warriors of the same rank." "My father is that powerful?" Luli thought Mingyu's force was powerful enough, but it was only of the second rank. But his father had a sixth rank, profound meaning? If a ninth rank, profound meaning could split the northern desert, then could his father split the Thousand Island Lake in half? If my father is so powerful, how come he was trapped in the ice abyss for so long? Also, my father must be one of the most talented warriors in the Liu family. Why didn't anyone from the Liu family come looking for him? Luli had some questions. As far as he could tell, how could a small abyss trap someone as powerful as Liu Renhuang? Why didn't the Liu family send anyone to look for his father? Could it be that something was wrong with the Liu family? Or is there something else going on? Luli frowned. He used to think that as long as he could go to the Liu family at the Central Plains, everything would be solved. Now he was worried. Chapter 255. Half a month had passed. The Thousand Island Lake didn't calm down. Instead, it became livelier and livelier. Many island owners were teleported to the Heaven Prison City, requesting to go with the army. Many forces actually had the idea of getting a share of the loot by robbing. Wherever the army went, the forces of the Heaven Martial Kingdom would be wiped out. So much wealth and mystical materials would make a fortune. The Bai family had been busy for half a month. Their preparations were almost done. There was no need for any tactical deduction. The old man of Heaven Prison could just lead the army and crush their way. The three fifth-rank royal families were quiet. They didn't make any noise or move, indicating that they were not going to get involved. Only the Yu Emperor's city was in chaos. Many affiliated families and civilians in the city started to flee. The Yu family secretly transferred their elite disciples away. The scouts of the Bai family had found some clues and information. However, the Yu family was also a fifth-rank family with strong resources. The Yu family could not locate all of them. Luckily, the powerful warriors of the Yu family didn't leave. The old man of Heaven Prison's expedition to the Yu Emperor city was a show for the forces of the northern desert. As long as the powerful warriors of the Yu family were wiped out, the goal would be achieved. It didn't matter if some of the Yu family escaped. The God-Down Island was peaceful. The new Blood Evil army had been successfully integrated. After killing dozens of people, Liu Yi had thoroughly established her authority. Her orders were strictly enforced, and no one dared to go against her will. The Blood Evil army also expanded. Many warriors of the Xian Wu realm were recruited. The number of the army reached 10,000. The more than 1,000 warriors of the Spirit Sea realm were appointed as junior commanders and became the backbone of the Blood Evil army. The God-Down Island was so large with so many affiliated forces and so many properties. All of them needed deterrence and supervision. Without an army, how could Luli rule such a large territory by himself and the deterrence of the Bai family? Of course, among the 10,000 warriors, there must be some remnants of the Su family, and there must be a large number of them. After all, many of the warriors belonged to the Su family. Nobody could deal with them. They had to take their time. Luli cultivated Xian energy, nurtured his soul pond, and cultivated apparition skill every day. Apart from showing up occasionally to support Liu Yi, he left everything else to her to pave the way for her. The Soul Pond realm was stabilized. Luli found out that the Burning Blood skill could last for 3 days. Luli was relieved that the Burning Blood skill could go on for 3 days at will. A normal battle would definitely end in 3 days, so he didn't have to worry about a period of weakness. After reaching the Soul Pond realm, the dragon roar was more powerful, which intrigued Lu Li. Could it be that, along with the improvement of the soul, the power of the dragon roar divine skill would also increase? If that was the case, then this divine skill was truly heaven-defying. He was at the Soul Pond realm. When he released the dragon roar, he could affect warriors at the initial stage of the Fate Wheel realm. Would he be able to affect warriors at the peak of the Fate Wheel realm when he reached the peak of the Soul Pond realm? The Soul Pond realm mainly cultivated the soul and Xian energy at the same time to build a solid foundation of the body. Therefore, Lu Li was very enthusiastic. He got a secret skill to cultivate Soul Pond and soul from Mingyu and cultivated day and night. He wanted to know if the power of the dragon roar divine skill would increase if his soul became stronger. On the 18th day, the transmitting formation on the God Down Island lit up and 3 people appeared from it. A Spirit Sea Realm warrior from the Lu family who was guarding the teleportation formation saw this. He hurried to kneel down with his men and said, "Greetings, madam." "Greetings, my lords." Madam Yin came with Chief Steward Bai and Bai Ding. Today, she was wearing a black silk dress with black earrings hanging from her earlobes. Her hair was tied up in a bun. She was so graceful and elegant that people dared not to look at her directly. She nodded and asked, "Is Lu Li here?" "Island owner is here." "Madam, this way, please." The young team leader of the Lu family quickly led the way. At the same time, he sent someone to inform Lu Li and asked him to come out and greet them. Madam Yin was the 4th most important person in the Bai family, and she was the backer of the God Down Island. Lu Li was still cultivating in the backyard. He waved his hand and said, "Ask Lu Yi to go and greet them. Bring Madam Yin to the Hall of Glory. I will go later." The warrior of the Lu family who came to deliver the message was startled. How come Lu Li didn't go and greet Madam Yin? He even asked Madam Yin to wait for him. How dare he put on airs in front of Madam Yin? Seeing that the warrior didn't move, Lu Li threw him a cold glance and said, "Just go." "Didn't Lu Yi teach you the rules?" "Yes." The disciples of the Lu family left in fear. Mingyu walked out from the room and asked, "Do you need me to go with you?" "No." Lu Li thought about it and said, "Madam Yin is a smart person. What she values most is interests. She won't dare to offend me." Mingyu thought about it and agreed. Unless Madam Yin wanted the Bai family to be destroyed, she wouldn't dare to touch Lu Li. Lu Li waited for the time for 2 incense sticks to burn before he got up and walked toward the hall in the front of the yard. At the front of the hall, Patriarch 9 and the others were waiting anxiously. They were all relieved to see Lu Li. Cold sweat covered their foreheads. This young master was so arrogant. He made Madam Yin wait for the time for 2 incense sticks to burn. "Okay, you can leave now." Lu Li waved his hand and walked towards the hall in a lazy manner. Lu Yi was carefully accompanying Madam Yin. Bai Ding and Chief Steward Bai were standing behind Madam Yin. "This woman is really poisonous. She is so beautiful." Lu Li secretly praised Madam Yin, who was sitting and drinking tea in an elegant manner. He casually walked to Madam Yin and sat down next to her. He waved his hand and said, "Lu Yi, go about your business. I will stay here with Madam Yin." Lu Yi bowed to Madam Yin with respect and left. Lu Li poured himself a cup of tea and took a sip. He looked at Madam Yin and said, "The war is coming. Madam Yin, what are you doing here at my small place instead of planning strategies at the Heaven Prison Island?" Madam Yin was not angry at all that Lu Li didn't even salute when he came in. Instead, she said with a light smile, "The war is almost ready. There is nothing for me to do now. Making you, the young master of the Lu family, comfortable is my top priority now. How about it? Have you made up your mind? Just tell me what you want. Are you satisfied now?" Lu Li put on an evil smile. He looked at Chief Steward Bai and Bai Ding and said, "You can leave now. I will talk about the terms with Madam Yin." Bai Ding's expressions changed. He was filled with killing intent. Chief Steward Bai's expression was cold as well. Madam Yin waved her hand and said, "Leave." The two glared at Lu Li and walked out. They stood at the door. Lu Li waved to the 2 maids and said, "You two leave as well. Close the door." Squeak, squeak, the door of the hall was closed slowly. The light in the room dimmed down. The atmosphere became ambiguous and charming. Luli stared at Madame Yan's well-developed body and said, "How many terms can I make?" 3. Madame Yan didn't show any nervousness or strange expression. She smiled gently and said, "You used one before. The Goddown Island is yours now, and it will be yours in the future. You can make 2 more terms, but not too much." "Deal." The smile on Lu Li's face was getting brighter. He stared at Madame Yin and said, "The second one. Madame Yin, you stay with me for 1 night. How about that?" Chapter 256. Eat. Luli tried to picture it in his mind, but he was not scared at all. Instead, his heart skipped a beat. Madame Yin was indeed a vixen. For a virgin boy like him, she was fatal. Luli once flirted with Madame Yin at the By Emperor Mountain, but she flirted with him instead. He couldn't sleep well that night. Today, he flirted with Madame Yin casually, but he lost control of himself. He turned his face away, took a deep breath, and forced himself to calm down. Of course, he could not sleep with Madame Yin. She was a widow, a black widow. There would be endless troubles if he got involved with her. He was not sure that he could control this black widow. Huh. Madame Yin giggled like a winner, proud of herself. Luli wanted to flirt with her. He was too young. "I cannot get involved with this woman." Luli kept saying to himself. It would be okay if he could be more powerful than Madame Yin. But he was still weak. If he flirted with Madame Yin, he might be killed by her. The Bai family had the old man of heaven prison. If he pushed the Bai family into a corner, both Mingyu and Luli would die. Luli thought about it and said seriously, "I am afraid that you will eat me. Let's change the terms. How about giving me 10 heaven-grade Xian skills? I want good stuff. Don't bring me trash." "Don't change." Madame Yin looked at Lu Li coquettishly. She even scratched the back of Lu Li's hand and said with a smile, "I am kidding. How can I eat young Master Lu? Even if I do, I will do it in a different way. I promise you that you will never forget it." Gulp, gulp, Lu Li's throat moved. He swallowed some saliva and his body tightened. Something was happening down there. He moved his hand away in a flash, cleared his throat, and said, "Madam, we are talking business. Can you be serious?" "Ha, ha, ha," Madame Yin laughed lewdly. Her breasts were bouncing up and down. She was no different from a cat in heat. Luli didn't even dare to look at her. Okay. Madame Yin looked at Lu Li from the corner of her eyes. She stopped flirting with him and said with a nod, 10 heaven-grade Xian skills are fine. Get them here as soon as possible. If you're not satisfied, I will ask someone to change." "What about the last condition?" Luli was troubled. He was not in need of Xian crystals. Heaven-grade Xian skills could not be bought with Xian crystals. Now that he had one, he really did not know what to ask for. Since Madame Yin had given him the Goddown Island, as long as he was alive, Madame Yin would protect the Lu family. Therefore, he had nothing to worry about. Luli thought about it and said, "Keep it for now. Don't worry, madam. What happened is in the past. I am not a narrow-minded person. As long as you sincerely make friends with me, I will also treat the Bai family as my friends. Can you understand what I'm saying?" Young Master Lu is indeed broad-minded, as expected of a young master from a prestigious family. Madame Yin nodded seriously. Then she sighed and said, "In fact, Xiuxue likes you so much. It is obvious that you are a good person. I am being silly. Xiuxue may look gentle, but she is proud inside. There are so many young masters from wealthy families at the Thousand Island Lake, and she despises all of them. The fact that she can approve of you means that you are really excellent." Luli smiled lightly, but didn't reply. Some cracks appeared and could not be mended in the future. In Lu Li's mind, Madame Yin was already a cold-blooded and cruel woman. No matter what Madame Yin said or how she tried to save him, he would never see her as a friend again. Seeing Lu Li's expression, Madame Yin sighed to herself. She knew that there was no turning back. The only thing that was fortunate was that Bai Qiuxue had been on Lu Li's side this time. In the end, Bai Shi allowed Bai Qiuxue to come with him and shouted at the Blood Evil Island, "Kill Lu Li, and he would hate her for the rest of his life." Madame Yin knew that with Bai Qiushua here, Luli would not bear grudges against the Bai family. However, how to build a good relationship with this disciple of the Lu family so that the Bai family could benefit from it in the future would have to be discussed at length. This kind of thing could not be done in a short time. The war was imminent. Madame Yin didn't have time to stay here for long. She stood up and said, "Young Master Lu, I will go back now. When you have time, you can go to the Bai Emperor Mountain. Bai Yan's boudoir is now open to you. You can come in at any time, huh?" Madame Yin left with a dissolute laugh. Luli stared at her snake-like waist and her round and plump breasts. He swallowed his saliva and exclaimed again, "Vixen, Vixen." Madame Yin left. Luli still didn't see her off. This made Lu Yi and the others speechless. Many disciples of the Lu family were terrified. They were afraid that Madame Yin would lose her temper and change the ownership of the God-Down city the next day. Luli didn't mind. He continued his closed-door cultivation. Many forces gave him many elixirs that could store souls. He had been consuming all of them to stabilize his soul pond. As time went on, the atmosphere at the Thousand Island Lake was getting hotter and hotter. The army was about to set off. Many people started to place bets. They were betting on how many days it would take to break the Yu Emperor's city, whether the three royal families would interfere, and how many powerful warriors of the Yu family could escape. The name list of the participants was leaked out. The Old Man of Heaven Prison, Bai Shi, and Bai Lung were all there. Madame Yin was in charge of the Bai Emperor Mountain. Apart from Lu Li's side, all the fourth-rank families were there. There were 15 warriors of the Eternal Realm, more than 100 warriors of the Fate Wheel Realm, and more than 10,000 warriors of the Soul Pond Realm. Even the weakest warrior was of the Soul Pond Realm. More than half of the powerful warriors of the Thousand Island Lake were on the move. The Old Man of Heaven Prison was preparing for a beautiful battle, crushing the Yu family and awe-inspiring the Northern Desert. Bai Qiushua and Bai Xiaoshuang were not qualified to go out. They were grounded by Madame Yin for half a year. The Old Man of Heaven Prison didn't pay much attention to the two girls recently. He asked them to reflect for some time. Several days later, Lu Li asked Hunchback Tian to take a secret trip to the Earth Dragon Island. The island was designated as a forbidden area by Lu Li. There were people specially guarding it. Who dared to offend Lu Li within the sphere of influence of the God-Down Island? Who dared to come near the Blood Evil Island? Lu Li asked Hunchback Tian to guard in the volcano while he went to the small world to check on the progress of Yi Cha and the others. Yi Cha and the other four were all in closed-door cultivation. Yi Xiaoxi and another patriarch received Lu Li. Lu Li was satisfied after some questions. According to the progress, in a month at most, Yi Cha and the others would come out from closed-door cultivation one after another. If everything went well, the five of them would all reach the Noble Lord realm. Lu Li didn't stay in there for long. He came out after he went around. Hunchback Tian didn't get any information. Mingyu didn't come with him. Hunchback Tian didn't sense any psychic power. It was not that Lu Li didn't trust Mingyu, but he thought it was better to be safe. The fewer people that knew about the existence of the Cyan Phoenix race, the safer it would be. Lu Li went back to the God-Down Island and asked Lu Yi about it. He was sure that Mingyu never left. He had been cultivating in the backyard. When Lu Li was ready to continue his cultivation, a piece of news came which shocked Lu Li and everyone else at the God-Down Island. Not only Lu Li, but the entire Thousand Island Lake was shocked. Since last night, all the scouts of the Bai family that were lurking outside the Yu Emperor's city disappeared. Then all the scouts in the entire region went missing. In just one day and one night, the Bai family had lost all information about the Yu Emperor's city. The Yu family took actions in advance. In one day and one night, they removed all the spies planted by the Bai family. None were left. Chapter 257. All kinds of preparations have been made, and the fight could begin at any time. The Old Man of Heaven Prison gave his order. Many warriors teleported to the Black Tooth Island. The Black Tooth Island was close to the Cliff of Purgatory. After the Cliff of Purgatory, they would arrive at the Heaven Martial Kingdom. As a matter of fact, the God-Down Island was closer to the Heaven Martial Kingdom. However, Madam Yin knew that Luli had just taken over, and there were many things he could not manage at the same time, so she didn't choose this place. Many battleships were prepared at the Black Tooth Island. The warriors were teleported over and boarded the battleships to wait. Only 10,000 warriors of the Thousand Island Lake went this time, and all of them were above the Soul Pond realm. Almost 70% of the Thousand Island Lake's powerful warriors went. The old man of Heaven Prison did not have much time left in his life. This might be his last fight. The Bai family attached great importance to it, and nothing could go wrong. After the 10,000 warriors gathered, more than a dozen iron-armored ships flew over from the Black Tooth Island city. Bai Shi stood on the deck of the first iron-armored ship with a group of warriors. He glanced to the numerous warriors and shouted coldly. The Yu family tore up the agreement, invaded the Thousand Island Lake, and killed a patriarch of the Bai family. Our family patriarch has said that blood must be paid with blood. The dignity of the Thousand Island Lake cannot be challenged. We will not go back until the Yu family is destroyed at the Yu Emperor's city. We will not go back until the Yu family is destroyed. The 10,000 warriors shouted as well. Their voices shook heaven and earth, resounding in the universe. Even the lake water was tumbling. Go! A hoarse voice came from the first iron-armored ship. The voice was calm and emotionless. That being said, many people felt there was some magic in the voice which made their blood boil. The old man of Heaven Prison, the uncrowned king of the Thousand Island Lake, the god that had been protecting the Thousand Island Lake for more than 2,000 years, the undefeated legend. Many people almost knelt down in excitement hearing his voice. Many felt honored to go to war with the god of the Thousand Island Lake. Let's go. More and more roars came out. The more than 1,000 battleships broke through the waves. Powerful warriors of the Soul Pond realm stood on the deck with killing intent. The more than a dozen iron-armored ships in the sky were following them slowly like beasts of the void. It was a scene that stirred people's hearts and made their blood boil. Madam Yin came to bid farewell with a group of warriors. Looking at the battleships and iron-armored ships disappearing in the horizon, Madam Yin waved her hand and said, "Go back." When they were teleported back to the Bai Emperor Mountain, Madam Yin immediately got busy. This time, she was not only in charge of ID Mountain, but she was also in charge of all kinds of information. She was also in charge of the logistics of the army. She had been frowning ever since she returned to the Bai Emperor Mountain. On the surface, it looked like it would go smoothly. After all, the old man of Heaven Prison was very powerful. Back then, he fought against the 3 leaders of the royal families alone and even injured 2 of them. This time, if the 3 king clans didn't want both sides to suffer, they definitely wouldn't dare to act recklessly. But Madam Yin always felt a little worried and restless, but she couldn't tell what the problem was. Inside the pavilion, Madam Yin took care of some affairs. She thought about it and waved her hand. Go and get Xiu Shue and Xia Shuang out. Let Xiu Shue come and help me with something. Although Bai Xiu Shue was young, she was meticulous, intelligent, and resourceful. She had the demeanor of Madam Yin in her youth. Madam Yin had been trying to train her as well. Many things had happened this time. On top of that, she had reached an agreement with Lu Li. Madam Yan's anger had subsided. Soon, the 2 sisters were brought over. Bai Xiu Shue looked calm, while Bai Xia Shuang pouted. She didn't even look at Madam Yan. Bai Xiu Shue walked into the pavilion, bowed, and asked, "Annie, our forefather has gone to the Heaven Martial Kingdom to fight. Have you arranged everything?" "Yes." Madam Yan nodded. She didn't show any kindness to the 2 sisters. After a moment of silence, Madam Yin said, "You 2 are not young anymore. You should be more sensible. Help me deal with some government affairs. Also, when you have time, go to the Sundown City and make friends with Lu Li." Even though the 2 sisters were locked up, they still had some information from the outside. On this topic, Bai Xia Shuang asked with curiosity, "Annie, why did you let Lu Li go? Why did you give him the God-Down City? Has Lu Li agreed to join the Bai family?" Bai Xiu Shue was curious as well. Even though they had some information, they couldn't get the core secrets. They couldn't figure it out. Based on their understanding of Madam Yan, How could she yield to Luli? Madam Yin decided to tell the truth after some thoughts. She put on a mocking smile and said, how can he join the Bai family with his personality? Also, with his identity, he won't be interested in the Bai family. Bai Xiaoshuang's cherry mouth opened wide. Her pretty eyes were filled with shock and confusion. Bai Qiuxue frowned and murmured, identity? Won't be interested? Can it be? She suddenly looked up to Madame Yin. After Madame Yin confirmed it, Bai Qiuxue finally understood and exclaimed, no wonder he is so mysterious. If he is the son of that man, then everything will be easy to understand. Bai Xiaoshuang scratched her head. She still didn't understand and asked, sis, what are you talking about? What is wrong with Luli? Bai Qiuxue explained, Luli is the son of Lu Renhuang, the Lu Renhuang who made a mess at the Bai Emperor Mountain 20 years ago. Bai Xiaoshuang's mouth was wide open. After a while, she said, Luli, that's enough. Madame Yin interrupted Bai Xiaoshuang and solemnly said, you must not tell anyone about this and don't offend Luli. Luli will not stay at the Thousand Island Lake for long. He will go to the Central Plains soon, and maybe he will never come back. Of course, you can get closer to him. In the future, once Luli has the power of the Lu family, maybe he will remember your old friendship and help the Bai family. He is leaving? Bai Qiuxue was disappointed. She asked, Auntie, has Luli been to the Bai Emperor Mountain recently? No. Madame Yin threw a glance to Bai Qiuxue and seriously said, Qiuxue, don't overthink it. He is a dragon of the Central Plains, not of the Northern Desert. He will not stay at the small Northern Desert. Our forefather told your fortune. You are destined to marry the human sovereign realm of the Northern Desert. So, there is no hope between you and Luli. Also, when Lu Renhuang made a mess at the Bai Emperor Mountain, our forefather was almost killed by him. Do you think our forefather will agree? Annie, that is not what I meant. Bai Qiuxue blushed. She could not hide the disappointment on her face. Bai Xiaoshuang couldn't close her mouth for a long time. She exclaimed, that punk Luli has such a powerful background. His father is a human sovereign realm warrior? A human sovereign realm warrior. Shuang Bai Qiuxue thought about it and said, if you have nothing to do, go and see Luli. I will not go. I will stay here with Annie. Okay. Bai Xiaoshuang nodded at once. She was full of curiosity about Luli. She wished she could teleport to the God-Down City right now to ask Luli about it. Madame Yin thought it was good for Bai Xiaoshuang to go. The girl was heartless. It would be better for her to build a relationship with Luli. Off you go. Give him 10 heaven-grade Xian skills, by the way. Madame Yin waved her hand, and Bai Xiaoshuang left happily. She was born to be active. After being locked up for a while, she was like a bird in a cage, unable to sit still for even a moment. Bai Qiuxue watched as Bai Xiaoshuang left. Her eyes dimmed down. Her eyebrows were knitted together. Her face was filled with sorrow. Madame Yin could tell what was on her mind. She walked over, took her hands and sighed. Things will not always go our way. We are born in big families, and we are girls. Our fates were decided when we were born. So don't get too involved. In the end, you're the one who will get hurt. I don't want you to become the second. Black Widow. P.S. Thank you for your monthly votes. The gifts from the Book of Genesis at Qidian are great as well. Chapter 258. Soon, the army of the Thousand Island Lake disembarked. The 10,000 warriors left their battleships and ran in a straight line. More than a dozen iron-armored ships in the sky followed them slowly. 100 miles northwest of Purgatory Cliff was a county city that was occupied by a third-rank family. When the army passed by the county capital, the people below asked Bai Shi if they wanted to attack the city. Bai Shi said, "You can't kill indiscriminately." The iron-armored ships left first. The army of 10,000 entered the city joyfully. That third-rank family knelt on the spot. Their family only had 4 warriors of the Soul Pond realm in total. However, the 10,000 warriors of the Thousand Island Lake were all of the Soul Pond realm. Fortunately, no one dared to disobey Bai Shi's words. Since the families of the county city had knelt down, there was no need to kill anyone. Of course, the wealth that this family had accumulated over the years was completely looted. Even the low-level medicinal pills were all taken. Not only this third-grade clan, but 4 or 5 second-grade clans in the city were also looted. Not a single mystic crystal was left. The army passed through the city in a straight line like a swarm of locusts, leaving behind a few clan leaders who wanted to cry but had no tears. Everyone cursed. They cursed the bandits of the Thousand Island Lake and a Yu family that stirred up trouble. The army moved on quickly. Warriors of the Soul Pond realm could travel fast. They could cover thousands of miles in one day. At this rate, they would arrive at the Yu Emperor city in more than 10 days at most. Soon, they came across another county. Baishi steered the iron-armored ship ahead and pretended not to see anything. The remaining 10,000 people naturally swarmed into the city like locusts and plundered all the clans in the city. All kinds of messages were sent to the Heaven Marshal City. All the families complained to the Z family about the crimes of the Thousand Island Lake and asked the Z family to send out troops to suppress the bandits. The Z family didn't have much reaction. They just issued an announcement, protesting the unreasonable behavior of the Thousand Island Lake and warning the Thousand Island Lake not to go on like this. Otherwise, what would happen? This kind of protest was useless. In the northern desert, the fist was the law. If reasoning worked, the northern desert wouldn't be so chaotic. Many scouts of the Thousand Island Lake dispersed again and secretly went to the Yu Emperor city. No matter what the Yu family was planning, as long as they didn't leave the Yu Emperor city, they would be crushed into pieces. The armies of the Thousand Island Lake didn't kill randomly, so the families of the Heaven Marshal Kingdom didn't unite against the common enemy. Those clans that had been plundered could only blame their bad luck. The 3 great royal clans did not say anything, so who would dare to throw away their lives? The fate of the Yu family was sealed. The northern desert was too small to hide, unless the Yu family fled to Qingzhou, Zhongzhou, or Liangzhou. But according to the current situation, the Yu family couldn't escape even if they wanted to. At noon, the Goddown city's transmission array lit up, and a beautiful girl wearing an emerald green dress appeared in the transmission array. The woman looked to be in her 20s. She was tall and beautiful, and she exuded a noble and holy aura. Her small nose was slightly raised, and there was a hint of spirituality in it. Her beautiful eyes were filled with light, and no one dared to look her in the eye. Many young martial artists were mesmerized at first glance, as if they had seen a fairy descending to earth. "Greetings, Miss Bai." "Greetings, Lord." A commander of the Liu family came to his senses and quickly knelt down on one knee. Bai Xiaoshuang was with Chief Steward Bai. She was in a good mood. She put on a rare smile and said, "Get up, take me to Liu Li." The leader of the Liu family hurried to the Su family compound with Bai Xiaoshuang. The new name was the Liu Mansion. At the same time, the leader of the Liu family sent someone to inform Liu Li. This time, Liu Li came out to greet them, but he waited in the yard. He recognized Bai Xiaoshuang as soon as he saw her. He grinned and said, "Bai Xiaoshuang, aren't you locked up? Did you sneak out?" Bai Xiaoshuang was annoyed. She pouted and said, "Liu Li, how can you say that? We are locked up because of you. But you didn't go to our Annie to plead for mercy. You didn't even go to see us. You're not kind." "Ha ha ha." Liu Li laughed and said, "It is my fault. I accept the punishment." "Oh, Bai Xiaoshuang, why didn't your sister come? Is she mad at me? Isn't it obvious?" Bai Xiaoshuang strode in and said, "My sister usually has a good temper. If she's really angry, she won't talk to you. I have a bad temper, but the best thing about me is that I don't hold grudges. You didn't come to see me, so I condescend to see you. That's not a good thing about you," Liu Li said with a smile. "You're just heartless and adorably stupid. You are the stupid one." Bai Xiaoshuang glared at Liu Li. After she sat down, she approached him and asked mysteriously, "Liu Li, I heard that you're the son of Liu Renhuang. Is that true?" Looking into her clear and big eyes, Liu Li found himself liking her character. He hated her when he first met her, but after a while, he realized that she was a straightforward girl. She said what was on her mind. She was not calculative and had a clear distinction between likes and dislikes. Though she was a spoiled girl, she was not a bad person. It was not tiring to make friends with her. Luli nodded and said with a smile, "Yes, I'm a descendant of the Lu family of the Central Plains." "What? You like me? You want to hook up with me? You want to be the daughter-in-law of the Lu family?" "Bah!" Bai Xiaoshuang snorted and said angrily, "I like you? Dream on. You think you are so great just because you are a disciple of the Lu family? I'm going to marry a human sovereign realm warrior. Even if you are a disciple of the Lu family, you will be lucky if you can reach the noble lord realm. What is more, when your father made a mess at the Bai Emperor Mountain, he almost killed my forefather. My ancestor hates your Lu family, so don't have any improper thoughts about me. You don't have the right." "Ha ha ha." Luli laughed again. He liked Bai Xiaoshuang's character more and more. After a while, he asked with curiosity, "My father almost killed your forefather? Is that true? Your father is a human sovereign realm warrior. My forefather is strong, and he once defeated 3 royal family patriarchs. But he is at the peak of the noble lord realm. There is a difference of 1 realm. It is not surprising that he lost to your father." As Bai Xiaoshuang spoke, she realized she was flattering Lu Li and belittling herself. She waved her hand and said, "Let's not talk about this. Lu Li, is there anything fun at the God-Down Island? I am bored to death at the Bai Emperor Mountain." "Ha ha." Lu Li smiled, but said nothing. He was thinking about Lu Renhuang. Mingyu once said that his father had an agreement with the old man of Heaven Prison. It must be an agreement. Lu Renhuang almost killed the old man of Heaven Prison for Mingyu. Lu Li thought about it. He said, "If you're bored, you can stay here for a couple of days. I will ask Lu Yi to show you around." "I'm not staying. If word of this gets out, it will damage my reputation." The ring on Bai Xiaoshuang's hand glowed. She took out 10 manuals, threw them on the table, and said, "I am here to give you Xian skills and to build a relationship with you. Anyways, Lu Li, do we need to build a relationship? When you are powerful, will you help us when the Bai family is in trouble?" Lu Li was speechless. This girl was so silly. How could she build a relationship like this? "No." He thought about it seriously and said, "What does it have to do with me if the Bai family is in trouble? But if you and your sister are in trouble, I will help as long as I can." Bai Xiaoshuang's expressions changed on hearing the first half of Lu Li's words. She almost lost her temper. Only when she heard the second half of Lu Li's words did her anger turn into joy. She laughed heartlessly and said, "Lu Li, I'm glad you said that. Go ahead and do what you need to do. I will go back and help my aunt with the government affairs. You don't have to see me out. Don't see me out." Chapter 259. The Thousand Island Lake marched on like a swarm of locusts. Everywhere they went, all the families in the cities were looted. After 3 or 4 days, the families along the way learned their lesson. They left the cities early with their family members' wealth and mystical materials. They would come back after the army left. However, the Thousand Island Lake army changed their route when they failed to get anything from 2 cities. Moreover, they had started to divide their forces into 10 armies, which then swept towards Yu Emperor's city like 10 sharp arrows. This time, even more clans suffered a calamity. The area covered by the 10 armies was too wide. Where could they hide? Many counties didn't have teleportation formations. The 3 royal families didn't take any action. There were scouts lurking in the 3 royal cities all the time. Once the powerful warriors of the 3 royal families made a move, the scouts wouldn't notice. Time passed on day by day. The Yu Emperor city was getting closer and closer. The Thousand Island Lake was getting livelier and livelier. Many people made bets on whether the Yu family would fight back or not. How many hours could they resist? They were betting that Yu Huashan would drag several warriors of the Eternal Realm to death with him. Madame Yin was busier. Bai Qiushue could only sleep for 4 to 6 hours every day. Countless pieces of information were sent back. They needed to be analyzed and summarized before they were sent to Bai Shi. This time, the Thousand Island Lake only had 10,000 warriors, but the Bai family sent out tens of thousands of scouts. Information was everything. The Heaven Martial Kingdom was someone else's territory. Without information, the old man of Heaven Prison would be blind. To win the battle beautifully, the Thousand Island Lake must have the information of the entire northern desert. Fortunately, everything was normal. The Yu family didn't run away. The fifth-rank families and the three royal families were quiet. If nothing went wrong, the Yu Emperor City would be leveled to the ground in a couple of days. On the 12th day, the Thousand Island Lake Army entered the region controlled by the Yu family. The 10 armies merged together. After all, the region belonged to the Yu family. All the counties were dependent on the Yu family. Battles were likely to break out. As expected, when they arrived at a county, a battle broke out. When the Thousand Island Lake Army was about to loot the county, they met resistance. The Thousand Island Lake Army didn't show mercy. They killed all the warriors of the family after paying the price of more than a dozen casualties. It was good that some people fought back. If there was no resistance, then there would be a problem. Bai Shi and the others ordered to march on. They rushed towards the Yu Emperor City and looted every city they passed. However, when they arrived at the next county, all the families in the county, big or small, had fled, and all the scouts of the Thousand Island Lake hiding near the county were killed. Bai Shi was enraged. He mobilized a few hundred people to chase after them, while the main army continued to advance. The next city was the same. This time, not only did they escape, but there were also people lying in ambush to assassinate them. There were quite a number of assassins, but once they missed their target, they immediately fled. When the army sent out a few dozen people to chase after them, something unexpected happened. Those people were ambushed and killed in an instant. When Bai Shi sent people to investigate, the ambusher had mysteriously disappeared. Along the way, there were martial artists hiding and assassinating everywhere. It was as if the mountains and plains were filled with enemies. It seemed that the Yu family was going to drag some warriors of the Thousand Island Lake down with them. They were going to fight to the death. Bai Shi was even more relieved when the Yu family did this. What other tricks could the Yu family have up their sleeves if they even resorted to assassination? Wasn't it just a last-ditch struggle? The death of some warriors of the Soul Pond realm was not a big deal. After all, the Bai family had sent out warriors of the Fate Wheel realm at the very least. Luli didn't care if the Bai family warriors died. On the other hand, the other families were enraged. They sent out patrol teams. Fate Wheel realm warriors led the teams to search for hidden warriors all over the mountains and plains, killing everyone they saw. Assassins were everywhere, and fighting was everywhere. Many mountains and rivers were dyed red with blood. This time, it was obvious that it was not only the Yu family assassins. All the big families affiliated to the Yu family had sent out warriors as well. There were too many warriors in hiding. The more they killed, the more they would find. Don't worry about the assassins. Full speed to the Yu Emperor City. Bai Shi felt that something was wrong. Could the Yu family be stalling for time? It was pointless to send out those assassins. They couldn't kill too many people. The only thing they could do was buy time. As the army moved forward at full speed, they encountered more and more assassins. If the assassins could not be cleaned up, the army could not move fast. Leave some of you to clean up. The rest go on as fast as you can. Bai Shi decided to split up. After all, those warriors of the Soul Pond realm couldn't do much. The main force was on the iron-armored ships. As long as the main force was not split up, it would be fine. Bai Shi looked down on those powerful warriors of the Yu family. The old man of Heaven Prison alone could level the Yu Emperor City to the ground. Report. An hour later, a scout boarded the battleship and delivered an important message. All the powerful warriors of the Yu family had left the city and were heading to the northeast at full speed. Their target should be a perilous place in the northeast. Haunted Hollow? Bai Shi looked at the map and frowned. The Haunted Hollow was one of the perilous places of the Heaven Martial Kingdom. It was said that it used to be a region with a population of tens of millions. All of them were slaughtered by a powerful warrior. The ground caved in, and countless dead people were buried there. Those dead people turned into ghosts. None of those who went in could come out. Bai Shi didn't believe in such nonsense. It might work to fool the common people. Clearly, this was a secret base of the Yu family. They spread the rumor to prevent people from getting close. Why did the powerful warriors of the Yu family abandon the city? Why the haunted hollow? Why she couldn't figure it out. Scouts could not get into the haunted hollow. Why she didn't know what was going on inside. He thought about it and reported to the old man of heaven prison for a decision. Go to the haunted hollow. The old man of heaven prison gave the order without any hesitation. Then he explained, the haunted hollow is connected to a small world. The Yu family wants to escape into the small world and cut off the connection with the outside world. Small world? Why she ordered the iron-armored ships to fly towards the haunted hollow at once while the army rushed towards the Yu Emperor's city. Why she ordered that if anyone in the Yu Emperor's city resisted, they would be killed without mercy. All the powerful warriors of the Thousand Island Lake were on the iron-armored ships. They were the main force. The ones on the ground were only here to smash, loot, and burn. At the moment, the Yu family warriors were rushing towards the haunted hollow. They were going to enter the small world. Bai Shi was sure that the Yu family was going to escape after he remembered the previous assassinations and stalling. They were going to enter the small world and cut off the connection with the outside world. Small worlds could be refined, and the refined small worlds were known as mystic realms. Of course, only the most powerful warriors could refine small worlds. The Yu family must have other means, which the Bai family had. After the Thousand Island Lake declared war, the Yu family must have started to prepare. Now, they were about to refine the small world, so they ran towards the haunted hollow at once. The iron-armored ships were fast. The distance was not far. They arrived at the haunted hollow in just 16 hours. According to the scouts, all the powerful warriors of the Yu family had just gone in 2 hours ago. The haunted hollow looked horrifying. Looking in from the outside, the haunted hollow was shrouded in black fog. Nothing could be seen inside. Before they got closer, a surge of cold chi and energy spread over. Many warriors of the Fate Wheel realm felt chills on their backs. Go in. Why she didn't mind at all. This was clearly an inhibition formation to fool people. With the old man of heaven prison here, what was there to be afraid of? The more than a dozen iron-armored ships whooshed over. All the warriors went out to the deck, ready to fight at any time. In just a blink, the iron-armored ships had pierced into the black fog and disappeared as if they were swallowed by a huge beast. Report. At the same time, there came an urgent report from the Bai Emperor Mountain. A scout rushed to the outdoor pavilion, knelt to Madame Yin and Bai Qiu Shue, and said, "News from the Heaven Frigid Kingdom and the Heaven Cold Kingdom. The family patriarchs and eternal realm patriarchs of the two royal families are all teleported to the Heaven Martial City." Chapter 260. Madame Yin didn't do anything after hearing the news. She waited quietly. She needed more accurate information. Report. Not long after, a hall leader walked over and reported the news that Madame Yin and Bai Qiu didn't want to hear the most. After the two royal family patriarchs went to the Heaven Martial City, they teleported to the Yu Emperor's city together with the family patriarch of the Z family and powerful warriors. Buzz. Madame Yin did not hesitate this time. She took out a jade talisman and crushed it. This kind of jade talisman was a warning jade talisman. If this one was broken, the other one in Bai Shi's hand would also be broken. Bai Shi had brought a few of these jade talismans with him. Previously, they had agreed that if Bai Shi did not die, he would immediately know that the three king clans had made a move. Where are the ancestors now? Madame Yin crushed the jade talisman, stood up, and looked at the map of the northern desert. The hall master glanced at the map, pointed at a region, and said, "They should have all entered the Ghost Valley. Previously, the experts of the Yu family entered here, and the old ancestor and the others chased after them. Oh no, this is a trap." Madame Yin let out a long sigh. Her face looked awful. Autumn Snow's beautiful eyes flickered as she pondered for a moment. After a while, she said doubtfully, "This doesn't make sense. Although our ancestor's lifespan is nearing its end, his combat prowess isn't much weaker than when he was at his peak. What right did the three royal families have to defeat their ancestor? None of the three royal families has reached the human sovereign realm. Otherwise, they wouldn't need to set up traps. They could just kill their way into the Thousand Island Lake. Madame Yin could not figure it out either. The Bai family had been investigating the abilities of the three royal families, and they did not find any significant breakthrough. The family patriarchs of the three royal families were all at the peak of the noble lord realm, the same as the old man of heaven prison. However, the profound meanings they comprehended were different. The most powerful among the three royal families was the monarch of the heaven frigid kingdom, who had comprehended a fourth-grade profound meaning. On the other hand, the profound meaning the old man of heaven prison had learned was of the sixth rank, the same rank as Lu Renhuang. That was why the old man of heaven prison could fight one against three and hurt two of them. Profound meaning had a great impact on a warrior's abilities. For example, even though Mingyu only had a second-rank profound meaning, he could defeat all the average warriors of the noble lord realm who didn't have a profound meaning. This was the difference. Profound meanings were the supreme principles of heaven and earth. Once an ordinary person understood one kind of profound meaning, it would be hard for them to understand the other profound meanings. Of course, this was the knowledge of the warriors of the northern desert. It was said that the top warriors of the Central Plains had comprehended several ultimacies. In the northern desert, even the Dragon King had only comprehended one ultimacy. In other words, unless the leaders of the three royal families broke through to the Renhuang Plain, there would be no qualitative leap in their combat ability. Since that was the case, why did they set up this trap? If they were not sure that they could kill the old man of heaven prison, then it would be meaningless to do so. On the contrary, it would completely enrage the old man of heaven prison. Maybe many people would die this time. Madame Yin and Bai Qiushue kept silent. The old man of heaven prison brought his people into the haunted hollow. All the powerful warriors followed him, including the powerful warriors of the Yu family and the three royal families. Madame Yin and Bai Qiushue had nothing to do now. Even if they wanted to help, they couldn't. They could only wait for the final result. Send a message to Bai He and Bai Lu. Ask them to send people into the Ghost Valley and report back immediately if they find any information. At the same time, mobilize our spies in the three great royal clans and find out the inside information of the three great royal clans at all costs. Madame Yin thought about it and gave the order. After giving the order, Madame Yin became restless. She paced up and down in the outdoor attic, and her face was gloomy. So was Bai Qiushue. She had thought of the worst situation. Once something went wrong, the entire Thousand Island Lake and the Bai family would be destroyed. The Thousand Island Lake was in the middle of the three royal kingdoms. There was no way for them to run, even if they wanted to. The more Bai Qiushue thought about it, the heavier her heart became and the more awful her face became. After all, she was only a 16-year-old girl. Naturally, she couldn't keep her composure in such a situation. Time passed by bit, but there was no news. It was getting dark. Madame Yin waved her hand and said, "Qiushue, go back to sleep. I will send someone to inform you if there is any news." "No." Bai Qiushue shook her head stubbornly and said, "I will wait with Auntie." Madame Yin was about to say something when a pretty girl walked over from the distance. She looked relaxed and comfortable. She cheered from the distance, "Sis, Annie, I am back." Looking at Bai Xiaoshuang's innocent face, Madame Yin and Bai Qiushue calmed down a bit. Bai Xiaoshuang was an innocent girl. She was born with a one-track mind. Madame Yin and Madame Yin didn't want Bai Xiaoshuang to know the inside story and overthink things. It was better for her to live a simple life. After Bai Xiaoshuang came back from Lu Li's place, she couldn't sit still anymore. She went to other islands for a bit, and then went back to the Bai Emperor Mountain. Bai Qiushue knew where she went, but she asked, "Shuanger, how many days did you stay with Lu Li? How are you getting along with him?" "What are you talking about?" Bai Xiaoshuang said angrily, "Sis, how can I live with a man alone? What do you think I am? I went to the Peach Blossom Cove. Now that I have had enough, I want to come back and help Auntie." "You?" Madame Yin was in a bad mood. She didn't have time to chat with Bai Xiaoshuang. She waved her hand and said, Go back to the Peach Blossom Cove. I am busy. Don't bother me. Bai Xiaoshuang was unhappy. She covered her mouth and said, Andy, don't look down on me. I can help you. Why can't I? Whatever you can do, I can do as well. Seeing that Madame Yin was about to lose her temper, Bai Xiaoshu thought of something and said, Shuang, if you really want to help, then take some people with you to the islands of the Thousand Island Lake. All the powerful warriors have been transferred away. I am afraid that someone will take the chance to make trouble. Take some warriors of the Fate Wheel realm with you and go around to stabilize the situation. Okay, this job was perfect for Bai Xiaoshuang. She was born to be active. She would find it fun to take a group of people around. Madame Yin nodded and said, right. Ask Bai Ding to arrange some warriors to follow you around. If there are any troublemakers, just put them down. Okay, Annie sis, just wait and see. Bai Xiaoshuang patted her slightly towering peaks and left with an excited face. Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshu looked at each other and forced a smile. The two of them sat in the open-air attic for a whole night, but there was no news. Powerful warriors of the Thousand Island Lake and the three royal families seemed to have disappeared into the Haunted Hollow. None of the scouts that were sent in came out. When it was almost daybreak, Bai Xiaoshu could not stand it anymore. She fell asleep in the pavilion. Madame Yin sat there in silence, waiting. Madame Yin waited in the pavilion for a whole day, but still there was no news. The Haunted Hollow seemed to be connected to another world. Once one went in, he would not be able to come out. Bai Xiaoshu looked awful. She didn't sleep well last night, and she almost didn't eat anything today. Her face was pale. As time went on, she looked worse and worse. The night came quietly. Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshu sat in the pavilion. They hadn't talked for a whole day. The atmosphere in the pavilion was quite depressing. Report. At midnight, a shrill voice came. Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshu jumped up in fear. After listening to the report, the two of them felt weak and sat down on their butts. Their faces were completely drained of blood. Scouts outside the Haunted Hollow finally sent back news. 2 hours ago, warriors of the Thousand Island Lake came out from the Haunted Hollow. There was only Bai Lung who had lost an arm and 5 warriors of the Eternal Realm. Chapter 261. Dead. The two words were like a bolt from the blue, exploding in the minds of Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshu. At that moment, their minds were blank except for the word dead. Dead meant that apart from Bai Lung and the 5 warriors of the Eternal Realm, the others were all dead. Bai Shi was dead, and so was the old man of Heaven Prison. The old man of Heaven Prison was dead? This was a joke. How could a powerful warrior that ranked number 3 on the Northern Desert Warlord list die? He once fought against 3 enemies and injured 2 royal family patriarchs. How could a god of the Thousand Island Lake die? For everyone at the Thousand Island Lake, nobody could kill the old man of Heaven Prison unless he died of old age. Even Lu Renwang at the Human Sovereign Realm couldn't kill him. Who could kill him at the Northern Desert? Madame Yin and Bai Xiaoshu knew very well that the old man of Heaven Prison would not be the number 1 warrior on the Northern Desert Warlord list. If so, who could kill him? The 3 royal family patriarchs and Yu Huashan? Madame Yin didn't believe it, and neither did Bai Xiaoshu. The two of them looked at each other and quickly thought of 2 people. The number 1 and number 2 on the Northern Desert Warlord list. Only these 2 could kill the old man of Heaven Prison. The first one is impossible. Madame Yin ruled out the first one at once because he was the chief steward of the Northern Desert Temple. It was a well-known fact that the temple never got involved in any conflicts between forces. Since the beginning of the human era, the temple had been standing in the world. Nobody had ever heard of the temple getting involved in conflicts. The second one, Madame Yin soon thought of the second one. Her eyes grew colder. The second one was the chief steward of the Heaven Punishing Auction House, Du Zixue. Others might not know the background of the Heaven Punishing Auction House, but Madame Yin did. The background of the auction house was profound. The entire world, including many cities at the Central Plains, had an Heaven Punishing Auction House. The reason why the auction house could enter the Heaven Prison City was that the family behind it was powerful enough. The Du family. at the northern central plains, one of the four giants, the sixth-rank Du family. A fourth-rank family must have 3 warriors of the Fate Wheel realm. A fifth-rank family must have 3 warriors of the Eternal realm, and a sixth-rank family must have 3 warriors of the Noble Lord realm. This was the basic requirement. Usually, fifth-rank families would have warriors of the Noble Lord realm. The 3 royal families, the Bai family and the Yu family, all had Noble Lord realm warriors. It was just that there were not enough for 3. Although the Du family was only a 6th-rank clan, the clan leader was at the Renhuang Plain. Therefore, no force in the northern desert dared to offend the Du family. The heaven-punishing auction house of the Du family easily opened to all the big cities in the northern desert. The Du family owned many auction houses in the northern desert. Such a large business, of course, needed a powerful warrior to hold the fort. The chief steward of the Du family here was Du Zifeng, a warrior at the peak of the Noble Lord realm. He was recognized as the second most powerful warrior of the northern desert, more powerful than the Old Man of Heaven prison. Du family, very good Du family. Madame Yin gritted her teeth and shouted. The temple would not do anything. The 3 royal family patriarchs and Yu Huashun could not kill the Old Man of Heaven prison. The only explanation was that Du Zifeng, the northern desert chief steward of the Du family, was involved. It's over. However, Autumn Snow did not think of revenge. Instead, she slumped weakly on the chair, repeatedly muttering these 2 words. Her very soul began to tremble. She was very afraid. It was not that she was afraid of death. She was afraid that everyone in the Bai family would be killed and the Thousand Island Lake would be bathed in blood. The Thousand Island Lake was the shame of the 3 kingdoms. As long as the Thousand Island Lake existed, the 3 royal families would be disgraced. Without the Old Man of Heaven prison and Bai Shi's death, the Thousand Island Lake no longer had the strength to fight against the 3 royal families. Not long afterward, the armies of the 3 royal families would swarm into the Thousand Island Lake and dye the clear water red. Run? The Thousand Island Lake was located in the middle of the 3 kingdoms. It was almost impossible to run away. All the disciples of the Bai family would die, and they would be torn apart by the 3 royal families. The 3 royal families and the Yu family would not let a single disciple of the Bai family escape. They would cut the weeds and wipe out the roots. Report. Another shout came from the distance. A team leader rushed over like a gust of wind. He got down on one knee and said, Madam, Lord Lung asked you to make arrangements for your funeral. Do it now. In less than 10 days, the armies of the 3 royal families will arrive. Got it. Off you go. Madam Yin waved her hand helplessly. She seemed to have lost her soul. She abruptly rubbed her face, causing her hair to become a little messy. She took a deep breath and said, Bai Ding, pass down my order. Now, I will take over the entire Bai family and start the Hidden Dragon plan. Any big family would have a way of retreat. At least, they would preserve some hope so that the family would not be wiped out. They would send some elite disciples away and take away some wealth and mystical materials. The Hidden Dragon plan was an evacuation plan. Someone sent a message to Xiaoshuang to come back. Seal off the Bai Emperor Mountain. Seal off the Heaven Prison City. Only people can enter, but not leave. Seal off all information. Madame Yin pulled herself together and began to give out orders calmly. As the 4th most important person of the Bai family, Madame Yin knew clearly that she could not panic or feel sad. Every order she gave could save the lives of many people of the Bai family. Hidden Dragon plan? Bai Qiushue had been with the Old Man of Heaven prison, so she knew about the plan. Tears slid down from her eyes, and a bitter smile appeared on her face. The Hidden Dragon plan was for the disciples of the Bai family to sneak into a small world in the Thousand Island Lake and then seal off the small world. As long as the passageway connected to the small world was destroyed in some special way, people from the outside would not be able to get in. Similarly, the people of the Bai family would never be able to get out, unless a heaven-defying powerhouse appeared and refined that small world. Would it be possible for a powerful warrior to come out of the small world if there was a lack of mystical materials in the small world. Bai Qiuxiue's eyes dimmed down. She would rather die a heroic death than to drag out an ignoble existence in the small world. Whoosh! At the Goddown City, a man flew towards the backyard of the Liu mansion like a ghost. He was wearing a ghost mask, and his movements were unpredictable. He looked no different from a ghost. Bang! He directly pushed open a door. Liu Li, who was cultivating inside, woke up in shock. Liu Li and Mingyu looked at each other. Liu Li's heart sank. He asked, "Mingyu, what is it?" Mingyu's tone was unprecedentedly solemn. He quickly said, "Something big has happened. Young master, we must leave the Thousand Island Lake as soon as possible." Liu Li raised his eyebrows and asked, "Tell me more details, and as soon as possible." "How soon?" "The old man of Heaven Prison is dead, and so is Bai Shi. In 10 days at most, the armies of the three kingdoms will attack the Thousand Island Lake." Mingyu didn't go into specifics, just some simple words. He thought about it and said, "I will go out for a bit, make some arrangements. In 3 days, we will leave the Thousand Island Lake and go to the Central Plains." "They are all dead?" Liu Li was shocked. He thought about it and asked, 3 days? How many can you take with you? Can you take all of the Liu family?" "No," Mingyu said with certainty. "I can take 2 or 3 at most. Otherwise, we will not be able to leave. Young master, you make the arrangements. I will go and take care of my own business." With that said, Mingyu turned into a ghost and flew away. Liu Li frowned. It didn't matter to him if he left sooner or later. He could just leave, but what about the Liu family? 10 days? 10 days is too short. Liu Li sighed. The time was too short. How nice it would be if he had more than half a month. By then, Yi Cha and the others would have come out from closed-door cultivation. Even if the armies of the three royal families were here, Liu Li could still protect the Goddown Island. Now, if Mingyu were to stay, he would be torn into pieces by the armies of the three royal families. Chapter 262. In just half a day, the news inevitably spread out. Madame Yin could not stop it even if she wanted to. Except for Bai Lung and a few others, all the experts who had entered the Ghost Valley had died. However, not all of the 10,000 warriors who had gone to the Yu Emperor's city had died. Of course, they weren't far from death. Countless martial experts from the three kingdoms were chasing after them. It was estimated that more than half of them had already been killed. Many martial artists used special methods to send messages back to their clans, so that their clans could make early arrangement for their funeral and send out the highest level of warnings. The entire Thousand Island Lake was in chaos. Many patriarchs tried to teleport to the Heaven Prison City, only to find that they could not. There were only two possibilities. One was that the teleportation formation was broken, and the other was that the Heaven Prison City's teleportation formation was closed. No matter what the reason was, it meant that something big had happened. All the families panicked, and all kinds of rumors and bad news spread everywhere. Countless people were on tenterhooks and didn't know what to do. Those who could come to the Thousand Island Lake were those who could not survive outside. Many families have been entrenched at the Thousand Island Lake for many years. They had established their roots here and never wanted to leave the Thousand Island Lake. Besides, where could he go even if he wanted to escape? The three royal families hated the Thousand Island Lake to their bones. All the major families must have been blacklisted. Even if they could escape from the Thousand Island Lake, they would still be surrounded and killed. There was no message from a Bai family. The families of the Thousand Island Lake were without a leader. The families around the Heaven Prison Island immediately rushed to the Heaven Prison City to meet the Bai family. The Heaven Prison City was still old and majestic. The two characters, Heaven Prison, on the city gate were vigorous and powerful. The troops of the Bai family were still standing on the city wall. The Heaven Prison City was not lost, but the city was sealed. Only people could enter, but not leave. Some families sent scouts in and obtained some information, but if they dared to go out, they would be killed immediately. Patriarchs of a few fourth-rank families went to the foot of the Bai Emperor Mountain together to see Madame Yin. However, not only was Bai Emperor Mountain locked down, but there was also a great formation that covered the entire Bai Emperor Mountain. Not even a mosquito could get in. The Great Mountain Defense Formation of the Bai family had been built for many years. It was set up by the Old Man of Heaven prison. Its defensive power was very strong. However, it had never been opened for so many years. Now that it was opened, it meant that the worst situation had occurred. The fact that the Old Man of Heaven prison and Bai Shi were killed was almost certain. The Bai family could barely take care of themselves. All the other families knew that it was impossible to rely on the Bai family, so they could only save themselves. How could he save himself? Many patriarchs of the families that stayed behind were about to cry. This time, 70% of the powerful warriors of the Thousand Island Lake went out. They thought they could make a fortune. Little did they know that the powerful warriors of the Thousand Island Lake were trapped. The God-Down Island also panicked. Lu Yi and Patriarch 9 found Lu Li at once. Pei-In and the island owners of the third-rank islands were here as well. Now, Lu Li was their backbone. If Lu Li couldn't do anything, then everyone would have to wait for death. The Old Man of Heaven prison is dead, and so is Bai Shi. The armies of the three royal families will attack the Thousand Island Lake in 10 days. It's no use looking for me. Run for your lives. No one can resist. When Lu Li met Pei-In and the others, he left behind some words and went to the backyard with Lu Yi and Patriarch 9. Lu Li couldn't care less about the lives of Pei-In and the others, nor did he want to. However, he had to take care of the Lu family. He was pacing back and forth in a hall in the backyard. All the warriors of the Spirit Sea realm of the Lu family were standing there in silence, waiting for Lu Li's orders. After the time for half an incense stick to burn, Lu Li made up his mind and asked, "How many people are there in the Lu family?" "The internal clan." Lu Yi and Patriarch 9 looked at each other and calculated. Soon, Lu Yi said, "The Lu family has more than 2,000 people, including females. There are more than 3,000 in the external clan. Altogether, there are more than 5,000. Forget about the external clan." Lu Li thought about it and said, "Later, you send out battleships to go around and secretly move the internal clan warriors of the Lu family to the Blood Evil Island and then to the Earth Dragon Island. Remember, this must be kept a secret. If anyone else gets wind of this, none of the Lu family will survive." To the Earth Dragon Island? Lu Yi and the others were surprised. What was the Earth Dragon Island for? Shouldn't they be trying to get out of the Thousand Island Lake? Don't overthink, don't ask, and don't hesitate. Lu Li glanced over to the patriarchs of the Spirit Sea realm of the Lu family coldly and said, "You only need to carry out my orders. I am warning you again. If you listen to me, the Lu family can be saved. If you don't, then do as you please. I will leave the Thousand Island Lake by myself." "Don't." Lu Yi panicked. She looked at the patriarchs and said, "What are you waiting for? Carry out the island owner's orders now." Patriarch 9 echoed, "I will kill anyone who dares to disobey the island owner's orders myself. I will kill anyone who dares to leak the information." Yes, the patriarchs of the Lu family accepted the order, and they felt more at ease. The other families didn't know what to do. The Lu family was fine. With Lu Li holding the fort, they didn't have to think too much. They just had to follow Lu Li wholeheartedly. Lu Yi left with a group of people and started to plan how to secretly send the Lu family warriors to the Earth Dragon Island. Lu Li had made it clear that no information could be leaked or the Lu family would be doomed. Lu Li planned to send the Lu family warriors into the small world. He had stayed with the Lu family for such a long time. Even a dog would have feelings for him. Therefore, he could not leave the Lu family alone. The small world would be safe for the time being. The armies of the three kingdoms wouldn't have time to worry about it. When the armies occupied the Bai Emperor Mountain, they would come and look for the Lu family warriors. Yi Cha and the others had all made breakthroughs, so there was no need to be afraid of them. There were 5 noble Lord Realm warriors and the Mammoth race in the small world. The Cyan Phoenix race was the fastest race in the world. The powerful warriors of the 3 royal families might not be able to gain the upper hand. Soon, the Lu family became busy. The God-Down City was in chaos. Lu Li couldn't manage them, so the other families had to save themselves. Nobody blamed Lu Li. After all, he was relying on the Bai family. The Bai family couldn't even take care of themselves now. They couldn't count on anyone but themselves. Some families had started to prepare to escape. They wanted to sneak out of the Thousand Island Lake as soon as possible before the armies of the three kingdoms surrounded them. There were also families that contacted the great families of the three kingdoms, begging for their protection. If they had the protection of the big families, they could easily get out of the Thousand Island Lake. They would be completely safe once they entered the sphere of influence of the big families. The families by the lake were having a better time because they had been in touch with the outside world. They had dealings and friendships with the forces around the Thousand Island Lake. They spent some Xian crystals and sent their elite disciples away in secret. The families that escaped were not so lucky. Scouts were everywhere outside the Thousand Island Lake. Armies were stationed in many places. 3 third-rank families that escaped had all been killed. By the afternoon of the next day, the news was confirmed. The 3 royal families had given the order. Many armies were gathered outside the Thousand Island Lake. The entire Thousand Island Lake was surrounded. Only death awaited those who tried to escape. Chapter 263. There was no way out. After a short period of panic, warriors of the Thousand Island Lake became united against a common enemy. Since he couldn't escape, he would fight to the death. He would drag as many people as he could to the grave with him. All the patriarchs of the 4th-rank families went to the Bai Emperor Mountain. They were ready to meet Madame Yin again to discuss how to deal with the enemy. The mountain defense formation of the Bai Emperor Mountain was finally opened. Madame Yin let the patriarchs of the rank 4 families go up the mountain. Since she got the news, Madame Yin had not rested for 2 hours. Her pretty face was full of fatigue. Bai Qiushue and Bai Xiaoshuang, who were standing beside her, also looked sad, as if they had lost their souls. In 2 days, Madame Yin had carried out the hidden dragon plan perfectly. The outside world didn't even know about it. Many elite disciples and countless riches were sent to that small world. The rest of the people didn't want to leave. They wanted to live and die with the Bai Emperor Mountain. Bai Qiushue and Bai Xiaoshuang were 2 of them. Madame Yin tried to persuade him many times. She almost had someone tie him up and send him in. Seeing the determination in Bai Qiushue's eyes, Madame Yin did not dare to act recklessly. She knew that if she did not leave, the 2 sisters would not leave. She could only wait until the very last moment to escape with the 2 sisters when she couldn't hold on any longer. My ancestor is dead, Uncle Shi is dead, and I don't know if Brother Lung will be able to return. Even if he can come back, it won't mean much. Looking at the patriarchs of the 4th-rank families, Madame Yin didn't hide anything. She said honestly, according to Brother Lung's information and our speculation, the 3 royal families and several 5th-rank families all sent out noble Lord Realm warriors for the Haunted Hollow. There are 9 noble Lord Realm warriors and 1 mysterious powerful warrior. If I am right, it should be Du Zheng. The 10 noble Lord Realm warriors are ambushing our forefather and Uncle Shi in the Haunted Hollow. Forefather fought against 7 warriors of the noble Lord Realm on his own. He killed the Yi family patriarch of the Heaven Cold Kingdom, destroyed the bead of life of a noble Lord Realm warrior of the Heaven Frigid Kingdom, wounded 2 warriors, and finally killed him. Uncle Shi died together with a noble Lord Realm warrior who was on good terms with the Z family patriarch. Uncle Lung killed 6 warriors of the Eternal Realm, lost an arm, and escaped just to warn us. Hiss hiss, the group of patriarchs gasped. Madame Yan's short words brought up many tragic scenes in their minds. They felt like they were witnessing the earth-shattering battle in the Haunted Hollow. The monarch of the Tian Liang Kingdom, the head of the Yi clan, was killed, destroying the bead of life of a noble Lord Realm warrior. Did Bai Shi drag a noble Lord Realm warrior down with him? The old man of Heaven Prison and Bai Shi could achieve such a glorious result when they were ambushed by 10 noble Lord Realm warriors. It was appalling. It was a glorious death. The Yi family patriarch of the Heaven Cold Kingdom, Yi Yuhan's grandfather, was a powerful warrior at the peak of the noble lord realm. One of the three overlords of the northern desert was killed by the old man of heaven prison. At this moment, the entire Tianliang kingdom was probably in chaos, right? Could the Yi clans still maintain their position as the royal clan without such a peerless master? Of course, that was the heavenly cold kingdom's own matter, and the group of elders quickly stopped thinking about it. There were no warriors of the noble lord realm at the Thousand Island Lake. Baishi's life wouldn't mean much. Any two noble lord realm warriors of the three kingdoms could wipe out the Thousand Island Lake. Therefore, there was no suspense this time. It all depended on how long they could last and how many warriors of the allied forces of the three kingdoms could die. Madame Yin paused for a bit and said, "You families get ready. I will send 100 elite disciples of each family away secretly. The rest of you will stay with me and defend the Bai Emperor Mountain." The eyes of the family patriarchs and patriarchs glowed. The Bai family had dominated the Thousand Island Lake for more than 2,000 years. They must have prepared a way out. Granted, only 100 disciples could be taken away, but the Bai family wouldn't be wiped out. The family patriarchs and patriarchs left to send the message and make arrangements. Then, they discussed with Madame Yin for half the night before they left in a hurry. At midnight, Lu Li set off for the Earth Dragon Island. In 2 days, the Lu family had secretly sent all the disciples they wanted to take away to the Earth Dragon Island. Ming would be back tomorrow. Naturally, Lu Li had to take action. He didn't let the Lu family warriors go down the volcano right away. Instead, he went down with Hunchback Tian. He asked Hunchback Tian to guard outside while he teleported into the small world by himself. "Greetings, Saint Lord." There were 2 warriors guarding the teleportation inhibition formation, both at the peak of the Fate Wheel realm. Lu Li nodded and asked, "Has family patriarch Yi come out from his cultivation?" "Yes." The 2 warriors of the Cyan Phoenix race nodded. One of them said with excitement, "Thank you, Saint Lord. Our family patriarch has finally reached the noble lord realm." "Good." Lu Li smiled. He was in a better mood. He asked again, "How about the others?" "Not yet." That warrior shook his head and added, "But they should be soon. In 10 days, or half a month at most. Send a message for family patriarchy to come over. I have something to discuss with him." Lu Li decided not to go to the tribe. It would be a waste of time to go there and back. He could ask Yi Cha to come over. He was fast after all. One of them took out a jade talisman, crushed it, and said, "Saint Lord, please take a seat. Our family patriarch will be here soon." Lu Li walked to some bushes on the side and sat down to rest. In the time for just over 1 incense stick to burn, there came a slight noise from the distance. Then a ghost flew over and condensed in front of Lu Li. Who else could it be but Yi Cha? "Saint Lord." Yi Cha bowed to Lu Li with a glowing face. Lu Li was in a good mood. He nodded and said, "Congratulations, family patriarch Yi, for reaching the noble lord realm." Yi Cha was grateful. He bowed again and said, "It is all thanks to you, Saint Lord." Yi Cha is grateful. "Okay, let's cut the pleasantries. Something happened out there, and I need to tell you," Lu Li said seriously. Yi Cha became solemn. He waved his hand to let the 2 warriors leave and asked, "Saint Lord, what is it? Tell me." "Tomorrow, I will leave the Thousand Island Lake for the Central Plains." Lu Li told Yi Cha everything that happened recently. He didn't even hide Mingyu. He even told Yi Cha about the relationship between Mingyu and his father. In the end, Lu Li asked, "Is it okay for me to put the Lu family warriors here? Will I get you into trouble?" "Trouble?" Yi Cha smiled proudly and said, "Saint Lord, you have underestimated the Cyan Phoenix race. We are the fastest race at the Central Plains, second to none. More than half of the disciples of the immediate Cyan Phoenix race can awaken a bloodline. Do you know what rank it is?" Lu Li was surprised and asked, "What rank?" Yi Cha smiled lightly and said, "8th rank bloodline. 8th rank bloodline. When we use our bloodline skill, we could be 10 times faster. In other words, not even warriors at the initial stage of the human sovereign realm can compete with me. Do you think these noble lord realm warriors of the northern desert can kill me?" But Luli was moved. He knew the Cyan Phoenix race was strong, but he didn't know it was this strong. Luli thought about it and said, Clan leader Yi, even though speed is a part of fighting ability, but to reach your level, you have to look at profound meaning, right? Do you have the confidence to fight a warrior at the peak of the Noble Lord realm? Ha ha ha. Yicha laughed out loud. A surge of horrifying chi and energy came out from him. He said with mockery, Yicha, really don't think highly of these good-for-nothings of the northern desert. Profound meaning? Do you think the Cyan Phoenix race doesn't cultivate profound meanings? To tell you the truth, I learned profound meaning more than 100 years ago. With my profound meaning in 8th rank bloodline, 100 years ago, I was confident that I could defeat average warriors of the Noble Lord realm who didn't learn profound meaning. So, Chapter 264. Why hasn't he come out yet? Luli had been in there for more than 4 hours. It should be daybreak outside, but he still hadn't come out. Hunchback Tion had a headache. Mingyu could come back at any time. If he could not find Lu Li at the God-Down City, he might come to the Blood Evil Island and go down to the volcano to look for him. Time moved on. 2 hours later, there was finally some movement in the underground lake. Lu Li flew out from the lake and went into the tunnel. How is it, Master? Hunchback Tion asked. Lu Li waved his hand and said, Let's go up first. The two rushed towards the volcano. Lu Li went up and arrived outside the temporary residence. Looking at the thousands of Lu family warriors, he said, Okay, let's go to the Blood Evil Island now. Stay in the Blood Evil Fortress. I will take care of everything. Back to the Blood Evil Island? Lu, Yi, and the others were confused. Since they were going to the Blood Evil Island, why did they have to go back and forth? In the beginning, they went to the Blood Evil Island first, and then sneaked into the Earth Dragon Island. Now they were asked to go back. There were so many old, weak women and children. Go. Lu Yi never doubted Lu Li's decision. She arranged for the Lu family to go to the Blood Evil Island at once. Luckily, this place was not far from the Blood Evil Island. It could be arranged in 2 hours tops. Master, what are you? Hunchback Tion was confused. What was Lu Li trying to do? Why didn't he arrange for the Lu family to go to the small world? Don't ask so many questions. You go to the Blood Evil Fortress as well. Take this jade talisman. If there is anything you cannot handle, just crush it. Lu Li handed over a warning jade talisman. Seeing that Hunchback Tion was about to ask, Lu Li waved his hand and said, Just go. Trust me. Unless I'm dead, nothing will happen to you guys. Also, ask Patriarch 9 to send someone to the God-Down City. When Mingyu comes back, tell him to come and see me. Okay. Hunchback Tion looked at the volcano, deep in thought. He snuck towards the Blood Evil Island. Lu Li went to the temporary residence at the Earth Dragon Island by himself. Lu Li changed his mind. After chatting with Yicha for several hours, he decided not to send the Lu family into the small world. Firstly, he did not want to expose the small world. Secondly, there were many old, weak women and children in the Lu family. It would be troublesome to go to the underground lake. What if they drowned? What about safety? Lu Li didn't have to worry. Yicha made it clear that he alone could guarantee their safety. Lu Li chose to believe Yicha. Xiao. Mingyu arrived at Lu Li's temporary imperial residence in 6 hours. Seeing that Lu Li was cultivating in the temporary imperial residence by himself, he asked in confusion, Young master, why are you doing this? Mingyu had made some inquiries before he came. He knew that Lu Li wanted to settle down the Lu family, but he didn't understand what Lu Li was planning. Lu Li opened his eyes and said, I don't want to leave now. If things go wrong, you can take me away at any time, right? Wrong. Mingyu said with certainty, Young master, I'm not sure. If Yu Huashan is here, I can take you away. However, if the king of the Heaven Martial Kingdom or the king of the Heaven Frigid Kingdom were here, it would be difficult for me to escape. If Duzheng had come, I would have been killed in one move. Lu Li put on a solemn expression. After some thoughts, he said, Don't worry. I have a backup plan. If the situation isn't right, You can leave first. But Ming Yu's eyes were flickering under the ghost mask. He looked at Lu Li, who was calm and couldn't figure it out. What backup plan did Lu Li have? How could he fight against a powerful warrior of the noble lord realm? All right, Ming Yu finally compromised. Lu Li was the master, and he was the servant. Since Lu Li insisted on staying, Ming Yu couldn't say much. Of course, if things went wrong, Ming Yu wouldn't listen to Lu Li anymore. He would knock him out and take him away by force. As time went on, the Thousand Island Lake was getting more and more chaotic. The teleportation formation at the Heaven Prison City was opened. Many people were teleported in. All the warriors of the fourth-rank families were here. Many third-rank families were here as well. The teleportation formation was glowing all the time. Batches of people were teleported in and then arranged to leave the city to the mountains behind the Emperor Mountain. There were no houses in the mountains. There was no place for so many people to settle down. They had to live in temporary caves. Many forces and families of the Thousand Island Lake wanted to use this place as their final battlefield. If the Emperor Mountain was breached, then everyone here would die with the Emperor Mountain. The entire Thousand Island Lake was surrounded. There was no way out. They were going to die anyway. They might as well fight a spectacular battle. Surrender? Many families didn't even think about surrendering. They knew how much the three royal families hated the Thousand Island Lake. Surrendering would only lead to a more miserable ending. Of course, some families had other plans. They wanted to take advantage of the chaos to run away when the war broke out. By then, the three royal families would have their eyes on the Emperor Mountain. Small families like theirs might be able to escape with their lives. The Heaven Punishing Auction House in the Heaven Prison City was closely monitored, even though there was no evidence that Du Zheng was involved. Madame Yin decided to be careful. If there was any abnormal movement at the auction house, a warrior of the Eternal Realm hiding would kill all the warriors at the auction house at once. Time passed on bit by bit. The information from the scouts was getting worse. Almost all the 10,000 warriors of the Soul Pond realm that attacked the Emperor City were killed. The rest were hunted down like stray dogs. Bai Lung was missing. He went missing in the Heaven Martial Kingdom with 5 warriors of the Eternal Realm. The scouts couldn't find any information. They didn't send back any messages either. They might have found a place to hide, or they had been killed by the powerful warriors of the Z family. More and more warriors were gathering outside the Thousand Island Lake. There were more than 100,000 warriors, and the weakest among them was at the Spirit Sea realm. The warriors were from the families of the 3 kingdoms. They were going to burn, kill, and loot at the Thousand Island Lake. Many girls of the Thousand Island Lake were in fear. They cried every day. Many of them even had the urge to commit suicide. When they thought about the armies of the 3 countries charging in and the hundreds of thousands of warriors charging into the islands like tigers and wolves, they would all be raped and humiliated. Many women felt that it was better to die. It was the 10th day. The armies of the 3 kingdoms moved. They entered the Thousand Island Lake from all sides. Many wooden ships, battleships, and iron-armored ships covered the ground and entered the Thousand Island Lake. More than 200,000 warriors were divided into more than a dozen groups and rushed into the Thousand Island Lake from several directions. Due to the large number of warriors, nobody could tell how many powerful warriors were there. How many warriors of the Fate Wheel Realm or the Eternal Realm were there, and how many Noble Lord Realm warriors were there? Nobody knew. The islands at the periphery of the Thousand Island Lake were in trouble. With so many warriors, military discipline could not be restrained. Or the commanders-in-chief of the 3 kingdoms never intended to restrain them. Many people were killed in an instant. Many girls were raped and robbed. Their wealth was looted. None of the warriors from several islands survived. Report: many families and forces gathered in the God-Down City. Warriors from the nearby 3rd rank and 2nd rank islands all came to the God-Down City, ready to fight to the death. Lu Li was not in the city. Pan became the leader. The island owners of the Killer's Island, Devil Island, Black Fox Island, and Ferocious Tiger Island were all sitting in the main hall of the Su family compound, listening to the scouts' report. Reporting to my lords, the scouts said in a deep voice, there are more than 100 ships coming from the northwest. The iron-armored ships at the front have the flag of the U family. The iron-armored ships will arrive at the Goddown Island in 6 hours at most. U family? Chapter 265. The hall was silent. No one knew what to do. The U family army was coming. Even if 1 or 2 warriors of the Eternal Realm came, who could survive, let alone Yahuashin? After a while, Payan asked, "Where is Island Lord Lu?" The Pei family scout thought about it and said he should still be at the Blood Evil Island. All the warriors of the Blood Evil Island have gone back. Island owner Lu should be there. Humph. The island owner of the Island of Demons snorted and said, "It's no use looking for him. He can only kill a few warriors of the Fate Will Realm at most. The U family has warriors of the Eternal Realm. This time, at least 2 or 3 imperishable realm martial artists will come. Don't count on him. He doesn't plan on caring about us." "That's right," an elder replied coldly. "Count on him? He might as well hope for Island Master Su to revive. He was nothing. He was just relying on Hunchback Tion. Did he really think that he could kill warriors of the Fate Wheel Realm? A bastard who has just reached the Soul Pond Realm hooked up with a young lady of the Bai family. Bah. Yes, he's a piece of trash that lives off a woman." A few martial artists who were clearly on the side of the Su family spoke up. At this moment, everyone was about to die, so they had no more scruples. The others said nothing. After the incident, Luli met with them and told them to run for their lives. There was no point in talking to Luli now, and no one was counting on him. "What are you all waiting for?" The Island Lord of 7 Killers Island bellowed furiously. "Immediately arrange for scouts to scout the surroundings and find an opportunity to kill some trash. After that, find an opportunity to escape. What's the use of thinking so much? If I die, then so be it. 18 years later, I'll be a hero again." "Yes," many people chimed in. Pei nodded and said, "Then everyone, go back and gather your men. We'll gather at the pier later. I'll arrange for scouts to immediately gather information and look for opportunities to kill our way out." Everyone went out and returned to their temporary residences. They brought their subordinates and clansmen out of the city and gathered at the docks. Payan also brought the warriors of the family to the pier. Outside the pier, there were at least 1 or 200 warships. All the forces on the Goddown Island, big and small, were ready to find a chance to fight their way out. It would be best if they could rush out of the Thousand Island Lake. If not, they would kill as many as they could. As for the old, weak, women, and children of the various families, they were all left in the Goddown City. They couldn't take it with them. If they followed them, they would all die. Report. The iron-armored ship of the U family is 1,000 miles away. It will arrive in half an hour. Report. There are 30 ships coming from the direction of the Sundown Island. There are 1 or 2,000 warriors on board. 4 of them are at the Fate Wheel Realm. Report. There are 40 ships coming from the direction of Killer's Island. Report. Tiger Island. The top-notch scouts of the various forces were all spread out to investigate the situation of the invading enemies and look for opportunities to break out of the encirclement. However, none of the news that came was good, because there were large armies in several directions. They were all led by several powerful warriors at the Fate Wheel Realm. They couldn't break out of the encirclement, and they couldn't even kill too many of them. As time went by, the iron-armored ships of the U family were getting closer and closer. If they didn't choose a route now, they might encounter the U family in the end. Any warrior of the Eternal Realm from a U family could kill all the island owners and family patriarchs in an instant. Forget it. People of the Killer's Island, listen up. Get on the ships and fight to the east. The island owner of the Killer's Island was enraged. Waiting here was not a solution. They might as well fight to the death. As the Killer's Island took action, the other island owners couldn't sit still anymore. They all ordered their subordinates or family members to get on the ships and get ready to fight in any direction. "Let's kill them." Payan sighed. He waved his hand and asked the Pei family to take action. There was no suitable opportunity. They couldn't break out of the encirclement no matter which direction they chose. They had to fight to the end. kill as many as they could, and escape as many as they could. Report. Right at that moment, a scout flew over with an eagle in his hand and shouted, "There's a mysterious, powerful warrior at the Killer's Island. He killed 3 warriors at the Fate Wheel realm on his own. I think all the invading enemies have been killed by him." Ah! Payan and the others looked at each other in surprise. They couldn't believe it. Payan thought for a while. His eyes glowed as he asked, "Is that man wearing a ghost mask?" Many people's eyes glowed. There was a mysterious, powerful warrior with Lu Li. Even though they didn't know his realm, they could tell he was powerful, at least at the Fate Wheel realm. No! The scout's report confused them. The scout said, the message didn't say he was wearing a mask. It only said that the man moved like a ghost, and we couldn't see him clearly. He used 2 black hooks, and his face looked blurry. 3 warriors of the Fate Wheel realm were killed by him in one move. He hooked them to death with his hooks. Ah! Everyone was shocked. Only warriors of the Eternal Realm could kill warriors of the Fate Wheel realm so easily. But at the Thousand Island Lake, they had never heard of warriors of the Eternal Realm using hooks as weapons. "Come back now." Payan flew back from the battleship and said to the scout, "Tell our brothers to keep searching. Report back as soon as they find anything." Everyone went ashore. Their eyes were filled with excitement. Was there going to be a miracle? If all the powerful warriors of the Yu family were killed, then they would have a chance to escape. Everyone continued to wait anxiously. 2 hours later, a giant goshawk flew over. The scout of the Pei family received the intelligence report and said with joy, "There is a message from the Sundown Island. All the enemies over there have been killed. It is a mysterious, powerful warrior with a hook. His face is blurry. He is conservatively at the Eternal Realm." So fast, Payan and the others were shocked. The Killer's Island was not close to the Sundown Island. This man went to the Sundown Island immediately after he started a killing spree at the Killer's Island. "We are saved. Maybe all of us are saved." Payan was so excited that his beard was trembling. The other island owners and family patriarchs were restless. Now, it all depended on whether the mysterious powerful warrior could kill or defeat the powerful warriors of the Yu family. On this thought, Payan asked in a hurry, "Where are the iron-armored ships of the Yu family?" The scout thought about it and answered they should be arriving at the Blood Evil Island soon. Blood Evil Island? Many looked at each other with a mocking smile. Did Lu Li think he would be safe at the Blood Evil Island? He was going to die earlier than them. Scouts kept coming back from the Blood Evil Island. However, the scouts sent out by the Lu family only covered an area with a radius of 30 miles. The Lu family didn't have many people. Bang! Right at that moment, the jade talisman in Lu Yi's hand suddenly exploded. A glint of coldness flickered in her eyes, and she said, "Lu 19 is dead. The enemies are here. Go and report to the island owner." A group of scouts rushed out. As soon as they left, a loud and clear voice came from outside. "No need to report. I am here." Lu Yi and the others stood up and walked to the door. They saw Lu Li walking in with 2 men. One of them was familiar to them. It was Ming Yu with the ghost mask. The other one was mysterious. His face was blurry. They couldn't tell what he looked like. Patriarch 9 and the others tried to sense the chi and energy of the mysterious man, but couldn't. Also, they had a strange feeling that this man was powerful, much more powerful than Ming Yu with the ghost mask. Finally, they are out. Hunchback Tian smiled and murmured in a voice that only he could hear. Lu Li immediately sat on the host's seat. He looked at the mysterious man and said, "Go and capture the leader of the Yu family. Kill the rest." The mysterious man didn't say anything. He disappeared in an instant, as if he had evaporated on the spot. His speed was frighteningly fast. Ming Yu's eyes glowed. He looked at Lu Li. He suddenly realized he couldn't understand this young master. Sensing Ming Yu's look, Lu Li turned around and said in a low voice, "I know what you want to ask, but I cannot tell you now. All I can say is, even if Yu Huashan is here, he can kill him easily. P.S. Today, I don't ask for monthly votes. I asked someone to get a painting of the Heaven Prison City. It matched the image in the old monster's mind. It was like an alien world. In the future, I will draw pictures of Lu Li, Lu Ling by Qiu Xue and by Xia Xuan. If you want to see it, you can go to the WeChat official account. Open WeChat and search for the official account Devilish Night, or WeChat message Yaoya588. I will send it at 5:30 this afternoon. If you are late, you can check the history. If you have any suggestions or opinions, you can send a message to the old monster. There will be some activities later. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.